What's up, guys? I am playing drums for the Montoya Machine on July 30th at Club Underground in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We are opening for Silver Tongue, Inimical Drive, and Leaving Hope. There's going to be a link in the description for tickets. They are $10 in advance, $15 at the door. It is 21 plus. Hope to see you there.
Just live in my own little bubble, you know.
So
I want to get in your bubble.
Bubbles.
So Israel-Palestine, discuss.
There's two things I want to talk about tonight: politics and social issues.
And the Jews.
I want to talk about talk about that the entire
Thanks,
time.
Obama.
That's you.
It's still one of my favorite things to ever say anything.
Thanks,
Something
Obama.
goes wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, Obama.
Dude, I love that one too. That one was great. That was great, especially when he got
so
in on the joke.
stupid.
Do you remember when he got in on the joke and he went to go to Obamacare.gov or whatever, and it didn't work, and they filmed him doing it, and he goes, oh, "Thanks, Obama." Yeah, he was funny. He was cool. Well, boys, welcome. Jason, welcome. This is your first time. Jeremy, welcome
Appreciate
back.
it.
Good to have you guys.
I'm here.
There's more to that statement.
There better be.
I mean, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I feel like I'm
That's
sitting
a
on the
deep
floor.
reference.
This chair is like so
Is it
low.
sinking? Is it sinking? That might be the faulty one. Stand up and see if it comes back up. There's a thing on it, dude, just like all the other ones. Yeah. And then I think that might be the
Teaching
one.
Jeremy how to use a chair 101.
Sometimes it sinks. Not always, but sometimes.
Oh, this feels so much, dude. I seriously felt like a little kid at the card table at Thanksgiving.
It's
or
a good look
something.
for you.
I mean, you kind of look like one though too. Get
It's
this
a
kid,
good look
get this
for you.
dude a booster. Holy.
My OnlyFans fans like when I look like a little kid.
You did finally start an OnlyFans?
Yeah, but it's strictly just dog stuff.
Dude, our fucking we'd finally done enough posting, advertising and shit on Facebook to see what the Montoya Machine's demographic is, and it's men between 18 and 28, and then women 65 and above. And Jeremy Montoya goes, why is that the two groups? And I go, because those are the dudes that want to be us, and those are the girls that want to fuck us. Because that's how all music works, right? You remember that from that Rockstar movie? Yeah.
As you get older, then that threshold just goes. It's like if you want to look up MILF porn or something now, and you're like, fuck, she's younger than me.
I'm like, that's not a MILF. She's 30.
Like, you got to get into GILF.
Hey, but at least
Eventually, good GILF.
At least you know where to go promo. The old timer home down the street.
Yeah. I wonder how much of that's actually true. There's got to be some of it true, right? Every cliche is based in some sort of truth.
Yeah.
Right? So, you're trying to, and same thing with the girls, right? Like the female pop stars, you're trying to get the girls to want to be you, right? I mean, think of Taylor Swift, right? Perfect example. All the girls want to be Taylor Swift. They resonate with her lyrics. They fucking think she's so pretty. They buy her fucking makeup, all that stupid shit, right? And then you're hoping that you can get the guys to want to fuck you. Now, I think that's where Taylor Swift is kind of mid, right? I don't know any dude who's like, oh, Taylor Swift, dude, yeah. You know what I mean? I don't think I've ever heard another grown... Oh, thanks, buddy. I don't think I've ever heard a grown man fucking say that out loud. Ever.
She's not my type, but she's blonde too. So
she's
that's part
very
of it.
pretty, but I don't think I've ever heard a single dude ever gush about Taylor Swift.
It's an interesting thing nowadays, though.
She's always a little girl to me. You know what I mean? So it's like
the trends that I see is it's just try to flash as much as you can to stay relevant, and then when you can't do something, it's super. I don't know, man.
Well, you said
it's
you're
so
not on
interesting.
social anymore, like any of it, or just Facebook?
Any of it.
Well, I'll tell you what the
I mean,
biggest
I'm on
trend
like
is.
YouTube.
He's on LinkedIn.
I'll tell you what the
Yeah.
biggest. I'll tell you what.
That's how you hit me up when you're like, hey, what the...
Here's what the biggest
sad
trend
part is.
is.
That's considered social media now. I'm like, come on, man.
Here's what the biggest trend is, brother. A mildly attractive woman being absolutely average at something, and then filming herself doing that, and putting it on social media, and then having 1 million subscribers for doing something absolutely average, from cooking to building something to fucking playing an instrument. It's if you got tits, especially these girls that play drums and they spread their legs irrationally.
Sweet, then we're about to get some views, baby.
If you got tits. Dude, they don't wear a bra, so the nips are showing through the fucking thin ass shirt.
I mean all of that. I mean the girls that just sit there,
stupid,
they're
That's
like
the
no
biggest
bra,
trend.
and they just kind of sit there and bounce, and it's just like a lot of that I question though is like view botting and whatnot because it's so cheap to just pay companies just with these server farms of view bot. I know, like I was just seeing this article on Twitch. They're probably like 80% of the new top creators have all just been view botting. And they're cutting down, so you're going to really watch and see who is actually relevant. Because, like, people that have, like, 40,000 viewers, and I guess, like, how you tell is you'd watch your chat, and chat would just be zooming. But now you see, and it's just, like, crawling, like, oh, somebody maybe said something. Oh. A lot of it's just, like, people doing, like, embarrassing shit. Like, there's this, I doom scroll on YouTube and under shorts, right? And there's this guy who wears
that microphone.
What's that?
Stay close to that microphone.
There you go. He wears a toilet over his fucking head, and he just sits and like brushes his head with a fucking toothbrush.
Yeah.
Just making a goober out of
People
himself.
People are so desperate
but it's
to
like
be
2,000
famous.
people watching this, and I'm like, right, man.
People are so fucking desperate that they will humiliate themselves, create characters, and you watch because every time I see somebody new, right, or I see like they're starting to get popular. The first thing I do is not the first thing, but after a while, I'm like, okay, I want to see where this person came from. You scroll all the way back, right, to the very first video they watched or they posted, and it's got 200 views, just like everybody else, right? And then then I don't sit there and watch everyone in depth, but I'll kind of look at the thumbnails and see them kind of like experimenting with, and then they get the first one that goes viral, and they hit that fucking thing like a chimpanzee doing the cocaine water, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like, dude, they are ODing on affirmation, dude. And you watch them sell out no matter what it is. No matter what it is that gets them to go viral, once they find their thing, they will sell everything out for that to keep going, dude. It is so fucking bizarre,
Dude,
bro.
it's fucking pathetic. Y'all motherfuckers need stoicism.
Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.
I was. That's what I was hoping you were gonna end it with. I was hoping you were gonna. Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.
No, I say you need fucking
No,
stoicism.
I think what it really is an actual purpose, right? Like when you don't have a real purpose, you fucking get bored and you start craving some sort of dopamine hit in some way, shape, or form.
I think it's a character flaw.
Sure.
Because there are plenty of people who maybe don't have a ton of purpose, but they don't fall in line with that. I got a whole thing on that, man.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
Well, I'm just going to say a
we
bunch
have
of
time.
shit.
We have time.
Well,
We're not in a rush, and I'm not
not
making profound points. So go ahead.
No, I just think that like a lot of times people talk about, and I'm sure there's some of this, right? That social media, like made everybody shitty or whatever. That's kind of the common thing. I feel like it actually just exposed people for who they
were
really
already
are.
shitty?
They already had these character flaws, and then through social media they were able to essentially fan those flames.
Right. So like me being a condescending prick, that's genuinely a flaw of mine, and then that's just exacerbated when I'm online arguing with people about politics. It's my flaw times 10.
And
That's kinda what you're saying.
I mean we all have right? So like
That's just mine.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like when I get mad and I lose patience with people, I can become a real condescending prick. I sometimes even have a little bit of a temper too, right? You put that coupled with being online through text, arguing about an intense, nuanced subject, and you take all of that flaw that I just said times 10, and I appear to be the worst human being that's ever existed, and it probably genuinely seems that way to these other people, so...
it's tough. I mean,
but it's only because what's being captured.
But if you're a fame whore, right? If you're a slut, if you're... You know what I mean? It's just going to exacerbate those flaws in some way, shape, or form. I think you're onto something.
I think to me it was just technology. Just kind of it gave
Is that what
everybody
you're
else
saying,
a different path.
I didn't want to jump your point.
no, that's essentially.
I wanted to make sure I
know,
was
like
understanding it.
because me growing up not having technology and a phone, it was like, oh, I want to be in skateboarding. I got into music, and those are the avenues that I wanted to take. Well, now everybody, if you're looking at your phone and all you see is people either becoming rich or doing any of that stuff, well, that's what I want to do. That's my new path. So it's like what you're being taught. And like for me, like I'm a parrot and I'm a mimic. So like I try to like only stay in avenues that will help me like further myself. But
see, so that's you recognizing a flaw and then turning that in.
But I also grew up in a different time,
and flipping it. Yeah, well, we all did. Yeah.
Well, no, I know. But you imagine growing up now, and the first thing that you're 10 and you're dealing with smartphones. That's crazy.
Oh, dude, it'd be bonkers.
Well, they actually
you don't get to find porn in Dad's fucking cubby with the fucking sticky papers. Like you just like, oh, look at Pornhub. Just the raunchiest.
Dude, I can't even imagine what that is doing to kids.
Well, the youngest kids seem to be fine. The youngest generation, they seem to be fine because they grew up with it. They don't know any different, right? It's like us growing up with TV, right? It's just a non-thing. It's a non-issue. It's part of our existence. It's our generation that got fucked up and a little bit younger than us, so down to like 30. But even by the time you get to like Jackson's age, that's my little brother. He's like 24, maybe 25 now. And then my producer, who's 21. When you get down to that Gen Z, they're also 50% of them fucked. The other half, totally legit. In fact, some of them, we call them Zoomers. I didn't make this up. They're called Zoomers because they're Gen Z with the wisdom of Boomers. And so they call them Zoomers because they got it figured out, man. They know how to suss out the bullshit online. They don't spend too much time on there. Half of them aren't even on social media. They fucking go on trips without cell phones again. Like, they're cool. They're cool. They got good taste in music. Yeah. Like, they're smart. They work out. They eat good food. Like, they don't. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally half of them. And then the younger they go, the easier they have it.
Feels like the difference between Gen Z and a Zoomer is active parents.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Parents who weren't trying to use you as a social media prop.
Right, or like being active in your life. Like how many people is just like, here's the device.
Have you guys heard about the dark side of that shit? Have you heard the darkest side of parents using their kids as social media props?
I mean, I've seen some of those videos.
Specifically the ones where it's like the something family and they have a whole YouTube channel.
I've seen videos on that.
Dude, the fucking the trafficking shit where these people sell their kids to people that watch their channel. Like it's sick.
I haven't seen that.
Like there's people that have been busted through FBI investigations. Like it's a thing.
Damn.
Like it's a thing. It's super fucking gross, dude. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if Epstein's list can get away with it, why not me?
What the fuck is up with that, man? Like there is a list, there isn't a list.
Dude.
Like what is the Ghislaine Maxwell? What did she get convicted on? Who did she traffic to if there is no list? How do you have a crime
right?
If you come on, man, like how stupid do they think we are, bro?
The whole thing, man. But it's funny because then it's like then there were a bunch of people who kind of weren't talking about the list much before.
That now are
and then
enraged
now
by it?
they are because it's like both sides are continuing
it's
to
whenever
expose
whenever it's advantageous for them, then they're upset about it.
It's just garbage politics. I mean, it's like the Diddy shit. Like that's crazy.
And then
and then he like gets charged with some, but not the worst. Like, oh, here's a little slap on the wrist, Diddy. Yeah. And I joke because I was like, man, he must have been so oiled up, they just couldn't catch him. Just kept slipping away. Yeah.
I just picture him being like Dennis on Always Sunny when he gets off or whatever at that seminar. I don't know if you remember that. Like,
oh yeah.
Did you just got off from that? Oh, I totally got it.
God,
that was
so
probably
hard.
Diddy like throughout the whole court cases. They're talking about everything that he did. He's probably just I just got off. Oh, I just so got off.
That's so funny. With that Epstein shit too, it's like oh fuck, I forgot my point. What was I gonna say? Because you were talking about the Diddy thing. It was kind of related to that. Yeah. So like, I want to know what you guys think. So the reason I believe it didn't get released, and it probably never will be released, and it wouldn't have mattered who the president was or wasn't. Either party, somebody from the same party, doesn't matter. Is because I think the amount of people in our intelligence community that are on that list is so. I don't think it's Trump and Biden and Clinton, which they might be. I don't know. Whatever. I think it's a lot of like legitimate intelligence people that are on that list, and the amount of names they would have to redact would be basically 100%. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's kind of similar with the Diddy thing. I think that's how and why he ended up getting off, because it wasn't just famous people and rappers with money and influence. I think it was people that have like political weight. like possibly some intelligence people. Because I think Oprah is not just a TV person at this point. I think she's a background political figure. I think she's a mover and a shaker, dude.
I just think a lot of that.
She's a billionaire,
I don't know, man. The only conclusion is it does come out is there's too many people that would just like abrupt the system that would then make it fucked up, because you like to point your finger this way and that way, but like when it's every way, which way fucking possible, you're just, I mean, fuck, how do you stop that? And then they control everything too, so it's like, so my favorite shit is, if you haven't seen it yet, is go look at the AI generated videos of outside the cell of Jeffrey Epstein. It's like, found out what happened to him, and you like watch like 4 knights come running open and kick the door open and drag him off.
I haven't seen
like
these
the
yet.
devil, like the Reaper showed up one time. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's up to 3 minutes now, right? They've reanalyzed it now. It's up to 3 minutes.
I think the Gemini
right?
stuff is like, it was like 2 or 3.
Because it was originally 1 minute was cut out.
Yeah.
And now I believe, if I heard correctly, if these people are to be trusted, they've now reanalyzed the video. There's up to 3 minutes missing that has just been magically clipped out. So there's basically, it's a minute when he goes in. And
yeah.
Then, a minute and a half, 2 minutes when he comes out.
Well, the best part is when they were going
said
over
2
that.
minutes 37 seconds, but I might be making that
is
up.
how they were so stupid with it that they're like, oh, what do you mean? And they're like, look at the metadata. So they didn't even scrub the metadata. They didn't even like make a copy of the copy. They were just like, oh, here's this raw thing. What do you mean? What's wrong with it?
You're in IT, right?
Yeah.
That's why you know so much about this. So do you know what he's talking about? Because I don't know if the listeners do. So basically, this dude like clicked, right click properties, see all details, and you can see every fucking alteration to it, where it's like opened in Adobe Photoshop, saved in Adobe Photoshop, edited in Adobe Photoshop, resaved in Adobe Photoshop, and you can see and then you see the timestamp go down, and you see the file shrink in size, and you see it. It's just like, dude, there's an obvious, and you can see when it was done too, so it's like, it wasn't even done naturally as it was pulled off the hard drive. Like, this is weeks later that they did this, and then they went in again a few days later and chopped it up again. Like, it's so fucking funny. Which basically what that does is tell me somebody edited it, right? Sent it to the boss and was like, here you go. And they were like, this isn't good enough. So they had somebody else edit it a little bit more. And then somebody else higher up was like, no, that's not good enough. Edit this part out too. So they just kept chopping more off, until enough people were satisfied. And then, like he said, can you even truly wipe the tracks of that? Or is there always a footprint?
You'd like make a copy. Right, so take your phone for example. If you have like your location enabled with photos, like you can take a photo to an iPhone, you flip up and you can see your location and all this. But if you screenshot that, it's got no metadata. It will very little, but there's no tracking or a source. So really, I mean, there's a ways around it. But Jesus, for being that fucking high up, you're fucking stupid as shit. I want that fucking job, man.
Right?
God damn.
That's so crazy, bro.
It's so, and just the way that they thought that we would just be like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? Like, and you could see it coming, because they were doing sort of like that proactive defense, because they had, what's his fucking name, Kash Patel or whatever, they had him on. I never liked that guy. They had him on. He seems like a fucking weasel.
He always seemed smarmy.
But then they had him.
Is that the right word? Look that up. Smarmy.
He's on. Then he was on Rogan right before any of this. It was like he was already laying the groundwork for like, look, man, I've
seen it. There's nothing in there. Nothing you want to see.
And you can tell.
Nothing to see here.
It's painfully obvious that he is like, at the very least, being inauthentic.
Correct. At the least.
At the very least.
To me, it's been a list going on as a while, right? I mean, I always look back as it started to see how fucking stupid people were, like Iraq War. Like my favorite thing ever is the video of Bush where he's like, "Hey boys, we got him," and then mission accomplished behind him.
Look at this, smarmy. I think this describes Kash Patel. Ingratiating and weeding in a way that is perceived as insincere or excessive.
He's smarmy.
Is that not the perfect word to describe Kash Patel while he's talking about literally anything at this point?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm going to use that sometime. Just be like, how you feeling, Jason? I'm feeling a little schmarmy.
You smarmy fuck.
You smarmy fuck.
like all of that. I mean, Jesus, like, you know.
Well, and they all went out, like, because then they had what's his name? They had Vance on fucking Theo Von. They had it was like they fucking just dispersed everybody. Like, all right, time to go spread the new lie. You know, it's like it's so fucking.
And you know what?
painfully
Vance
obvious.
is the only one whose bullshit even sounds like a believable politician. The rest of them clearly do not know how to lie in public.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, Vance is the only one who can spin the bullshit and make it sound extremely reasonable.
Well, they haven't embraced the George Costanza school of lying, where it's not a lie if you believe it. Like you have to convince yourself that it was true before it ever comes out of your fucking mouth.
Well, it's just a puppet show. That's why I just can't stand half that shit. Is it just because you go around and either you're going to say the right thing and it's like, hey, or else you said something and you play into it being like, oh, I'm a fool. Oh, whoops, whoopsie.
Well, that's
Sorry
why a lot
for
of
being
people
schmarmy.
That's why a lot of people do that thing, though. They're like, and I don't ever judge anybody for saying this. I totally respect it and understand it. They say, I always ask somebody a kind of a pre-interview question if I've never met them before. I'm like, is there anything you don't want to talk about on the podcast? Some guys, it's religion,
Anal.
an ex-wife, weird sex stuff. Their drug
Wait,
past.
anal's weird?
Sometimes it's their drug past.
When you're the one getting it.
Sometimes it's like, hey man, I work at a church now. I don't want to talk about like the drugs and stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Like even if they're having a beer, they're like, let's not talk about drinking. Like, can I keep this off camera? I'll drink it, but like, can I keep? All that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say politics because you're going to piss off 50% of people.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started seeing celebrities and even just YouTubers get in trouble for not having an opinion.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I decided, I was like, all right, I'm not doing this. If you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, at least I'm going to be honest and authentic.
Mm-hmm.
So you can like me, hate me based on my opinions, fine. But at least you know it's real.
Yeah.
Because again, kind of like what we were talking about before the podcast, everything online is fake now. Like if you want to be, even if you want to go on Kill Tony and become a stand-up comic, you need a character now. Like you can't go up there and just be funny anymore.
Yep.
It's gotten so, everything has gotten so distilled down to, if you want to make it online, you got to go viral, you need a shtick, you need a character. It's basically 1980s Hollywood again, if you think about it. Right? Like remember how they talk about Molly Shore, Pauly Shore's mom, Mitzi?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you need a thing. And she'd help them create a character, like a fucking WWE wrestler. You got to have a character.
Yeah. Well, like Sam Kinison.
This is what I hate, though, about the entertainment business.
Yeah.
Right? Is like you can't be your authentic self anymore unless that's your thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a real person. He's a real blue-collar guy. Then sometimes even that.
Yeah.
Fucking get her done. Even that's a fucking shtick. You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck.
He's
dude.
not even a cable guy, dude.
I know, right? He doesn't even fucking chew tobacco. That's a piece of cardboard.
It's just drama. I think drama
just
is like
dumb.
the
It
big thing
pisses me
now
off, dude.
because like that's what everybody wants, and then you want everybody to be on your side, and that's why I just stay away from it because truly I'm just neutral. Because I look at it, and I'm just like, fuck, man. If you're political, no matter which way you're going, the whole system's against your ass.
I think most people
it's
are
fucking
neutral.
Crazy.
They felt compelled to pick a side because they are either under a social pressure from their circle of people, and nobody wants to be ostracized. Right, so like if you are completely ingratiated with a community that is hardcore left, like if you live in the city of Minneapolis, Republicans are few and far between. Right, you're gonna probably feel all the social pressure to just go with the company line. You know, just go with the flow because you don't want to be ostracized. If you grow up around all Republicans, it's gonna be pretty fucking tough for you to like suddenly be the only liberal guy. Everybody's gonna call you gay. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be a tough life, right? So I think there's that, and then there's the other people who feel like they have to pick a side, right? That's the other group of people where they like see this thing going down and they like somehow believe through their own paranoia they have to pick a side. Well, these guys have officially gone too far, so I'm on this side now. You know, I think there's a lot of people who are mostly neutral. If you really broke things down, like if you took all the names and colors away from, so not red, not blue, not left, not right, you took all that away. You just said, what do you think about this? And mixed them up. I think most people would come through as like moderate, slightly leaning one side or the other.
Well, everybody gets.
I think maybe I'm being idealistic.
It's too bad that that's not actually the way that things work. You know what I mean? Like, I've thought about it a lot of times where I'm like, imagine if when you went to go vote, there wasn't a D or an R next to something.
Right.
You know, you just had to, like, I don't know, be informed, understand the issue. You know what I mean? Like, but that would never happen. But
yeah, if you like
more
voted,
like a thought experiment.
if you voted per issue, and then depending on who, you know, if you're like yes to this, no to this, your vote goes to that person. You know what I mean? And you do that 10 times on the ballot, so you have a total of 10 possible points to give out, and maybe you give 6 to this person, 4 to that person. You
That's
know
what I mean. Like it's a thought experiment. It would never actually happen, but it's just kind of a.
It's a cool idea, though.
Because
that would be like way more accurate.
Then you could actually, get to like what people really think, what you really want, instead of this. To me, it's just. I mean, I didn't coin it. It was Ventura that did, right? What did he call it? The Republicans and the Democrips or something.
Something like that.
But it was basically like, I mean, it's essentially a gang. And kind of what you described is pretty similar. It's like, all right, you grow up in a neighborhood, you got to join a gang, otherwise you're going to get your ass kicked every day, right?
Or you're just fully grown up in the Crips, so you're just gonna be a Crip. You're just gonna, like you're not gonna grow up as a Crip and then be like, I'm gonna be a Blood because I want to be a rebel. Like, like what? Are you retarded? No, you're not doing that. Like, no, you're a Crip. We're all Crips. You're gonna be a Crip.
And so to me, it's just like, I don't know. I wish,
or if you're in the middle, you have to pick a side. Yeah,
it's like I wish people would have like I've been, I guess independent or whatever you want to call it for a long time, and the big thing I've heard numerous times is like, that just means that you have a side, but you just don't have a spine. And it's like, motherfucker, you're the one without a spine. You're too fucking scared to stand on your own. So you sacrifice deep-hearted values that I know you have so you can join a fucking gang. No, you're the bitch.
Or a cult. I like calling them cults now.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're starting to feel like. And I'm not talking about just anybody who votes one way or another. I'm talking about the fucking blue no matter who. Bro, you're in a fucking cult. Right? Like, Trump can do no wrong. The people who say, praise God for President Trump, you're in a fucking cult.
That shit is wild to me.
You're in a cult, yo. Like, if you can't criticize Trump on anything he says or does, you're in a cult.
And then you cut other people out people who might even be sort of on your side, right? Like, they might lean your way, but they criticize one
if they're
thing
not Trump enough.
But yeah, they criticize something Trump did, so all of a sudden now you don't talk to that person anymore. That's a fucking cult.
So this is a term I did not coin.
On both sides.
This is not a term I coined, but it is a term I heard about 3 months ago. And you will start hearing it over the next year or two. It's not bullshit. It's real. It's called the woke right. And it's the oversensitive right-wing Christian people who basically censored the 80s and 90s, right? It's the same thing. And this is why people like you and I hated the woke left. Because we were like, fuck you. We already solved this problem 20 years ago dealing with the Christian conservatives. You don't get to censor people's speech or expression or art. Fuck you. It's all free speech, right? That's how people like me, and I think you are a free speech absolutist, right?
Yeah.
Like until that hate speech takes action, right? And like you can't beat somebody up and call them, you fucking, homo, fucking blah blah. Now it's a different thing, right? Mm-hmm. You can't do that. But making a gay joke is, even if it is hate speech, it's still free speech.
Yeah, that
has to be allowed. That has to be allowed.
You don't have to agree with it,
right?
But you have to. But yeah, it's like, well, like it's said time and time again, right? Like at some point, something that you say or believe is going to be controversial.
Exactly.
And now,
and a different group of people.
Of people are like and both sides do this all the time. They give all this fucking power, like they take all this power, and then their side is like, yeah, take that, like take that Trumpers or take that libtards or whatever they say, right?
Speaking of,
and then they flip around, and then now they got the power, and then they do,
So it's happening. Have you guys seen the new South Park?
I didn't see it yet.
I've seen like the little clips and like the backlash.
Bro, you guys have to watch it. It is so fucking funny. So you remember the Saddam Hussein character?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They literally just replaced that with Trump.
I saw the clip because he gets in bed with him.
They just replaced that with Trump now. Same voice. They didn't change anything. They just replaced his face. But what's even better about it is there's a Republican. I think he's even ironically a black dude. But there's a Republican, I think he's a senator. See if you can find this on Twitter or Google it and then use Twitter to find it or whatever, vice versa. And it's basically Republican politician, South Park, hate speech or something like that.
Oh my God, he's calling it hate speech.
Dude, and he goes, South Park needs to be canceled. This is hate speech. You can't criticize President Trump like that. And it's like, bro, that's exactly what you're allowed to do. That's entirely the literal, actual reason they use the word expression and not speech. Free speech doesn't exist. It's freedom of expression, which is everything, including art, music, writing, right? Because they could have said, well, you can say whatever you want, but you can't write it down.
Yeah.
That's why it's not free speech. It's freedom of expression, because it transcends any version of how you express yourself, right? And it was literally 100% there. So you can criticize anyone, including the government, and the government can't do anything about it. If I say some horrendous shit, especially if I put it in writing about one of you two, or say something like if I, not jokingly, say you have herpes, right? Because I jokingly
goes
accuse
right
you
to
of
it.
Well, because I make shit up about him all the time, right? Like it's part of our shtick, right? So, and I do it with a bunch of friends. I just make shit up, but we all know I'm joking. But if I was serious, like Candace Owens saying Macron's wife is a man, that's legal defamation, right? So they can sue her, which they did, which, by the way, they dropped. So
Well, because when you sue, things have to come out. Then
you have to prove that it's defamation.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't know, dude.
And a lot of things come out in discovery once you. Whoever that dude was who fucking tweeted or whatever about that shit, it'd be interesting to see his past tweets and what was
if he was railing against woke.
Yeah, when the left was doing all the canceling.
I bet you're right. Dude.
Yeah. And that's, I think, at the core, I think that's probably what pisses me off more than anything is
hypocrisy.
That hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Like, just own it. Like, if that dude, if he would have said the same thing that he said, I still wouldn't have agreed with it. But if he was like, and yeah, I'm being a hypocrite, I know, or something like that, I'd be like, well, all right, at least he owns that.
See, this is all the stuff where I'm so glad I'm not on social media.
I also
I got like no time for it.
News. It made news, which is how I found out about it.
Even when I see news, I'm like, not gonna read that.
I would also respect him a little bit more if back then he's a Republican defending all this cancellation on hate speech. He's like, look, I might be a Republican, but this is hate speech and it does need to be. Then at least your principles are consistent.
Yeah.
I disagree with you.
Yeah.
But at least I know exactly where your bearing is and I can predict where you're going to land on things. But when you flip-flop based on who's making the call and who's being criticized, then you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Because now you're just...
Yeah, you've got no principle, no spine. You got nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Your
Just what's
principles are
popular
built
now.
on sand.
Take the popular side. What's going to get you most clicks and
Yeah, that's
people
called
back in.
pandering. That's called
Fucking
pandering.
crazy.
And that used to be called political suicide. That would end your fucking career.
And
if you
now
were
they
caught
base
pandering.
campaigns on
Dude,
it.
for real, bro. For real. They base campaigns on the idea of pandering. Just say whatever they want to hear.
Yep.
And people are okay with it. It's more transparent than ever. That's what I can't wrap my fucking head around. So pandering, when you had less access to the truth, was seen as a political death knell. Like you've lost all credibility. Now that it's more transparent than ever that you're pandering, no one cares.
Well, it's like the
How the fuck?
Well, you look at the media and how you use
Jason,
it.
will
Like
you grab me another beer, please?
the way.
Do you guys want a beer?
I
No.
might take
I got
one.
really light beers if you just want to sip on one.
Oh, I'm still rocking my.
I'll
Grab
snag
Jeremy
one.
one? Do you want a cigar? You guys want a cigar?
No, I don't smoke cigars.
I'm good
Makes
on
me
that.
Fucking throw up.
Not that manly.
No,
You used to smoke
I'm still a
cigs.
little boy. I just still smoke.
You smoke Lucky Strikes and you're fucking talking about getting sick on a cigar?
Yeah,
Homie.
What's up, homie? I'm Tony.
Dude, I love that guy. I fucking love that guy. Do you know who we're talking about?
No.
The LC Signs dude, this Chinese dude who sells signs, and he figured out how to manipulate the algorithms and pander to Americans, right?
Yeah.
So he started off for years, right? This goes back 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I think he started during the pandemic, and he would create different videos where he would try to do American accents, right? And he would now he's really good at speaking English, and now he's like playing into like our own parodies and bits, and he's fucking awesome. He's hilarious. His name is allegedly Tony, which they all do. They all pick an American name, but he started off with these videos where he'd like wear a hat and he'd fake a Southern accent. He'd be like, hey, homie, I'm Tony. Check out LC Signs, where you can get the best people coming to your saloon because your sign is so dope. And then all of a sudden he'd like have one where he's got a British accent, and it was like clearly obvious, but that he was pandering and marketing these videos to. But then you'd go into the comments and like he's doing the Southern accent. These were my favorite ones, and like it'd be like, live from Wuhan, Texas. You know what I mean? Like, dude, the comments are always gold. And then he was reading the comments and would start running and leaning into it all. And now he's like almost kind of like internet famous, dude. Like his sign company's like whatever.
So he is, where I saw a lot of it though. He'd find these
awesome,
weird,
dude.
he'd find like weird videos of people like talking nonsense. And he would just sit there and you watch him and keep looking back and he'd be like, okay, then here's LC Signs. Oh, super
he'll
good.
do the Stitch thing where somebody will like, they'll be saying something weird, you know, and they'll be going like down a rabbit hole of like, specifically he loves trolling the lefties.
Yeah.
And they'll say something crazy and be like, no, you're gay. Anyways, listen, we got a sale on these signs right here.
Does he also do for cars too?
Well, there's a white
guy?
dude who's doing the same thing with cars,
right, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. So he's learning. So the fucking the Chinese dude, Tony, is learning our own little trends that are happening where, you stitch the thing with an absurd cut and then you pitch your product.
Yeah.
Because that white dude is the one that pioneered that.
Okay.
The white dude selling cars.
Gotcha.
He's like, listen, who gives a shit about your struggle? This is America. Anyways, we got this Ford F-250 on sale for $25,000. It just came in off the lot. And he's getting like 1 million views. Dude, he's #1 salesman. I know exactly what you're talking about. That dude's fucking hilarious, too. He kind of pioneered that stitching thing. Who gives a shit about you? This is America. Anyways, we got to.
I always like the ones where it's just like, don't care.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking.
So that's where I get torn because it's like some of the stuff.
You could have a lot of fun doing it.
Like some of the shit.
Yeah, but be
I'll
ready for
see is
backlash because you're gonna get from both ends.
There's no such thing as bad press.
Well, it's like you'll see
It's all
shit
about how
like
you handle
that.
it.
That's like it's funny, right? But then I think like one of the things that kind of I guess sort of annoys me is that, and it's no different than the way things used to be. It's just that it's more extreme because of social media, right? But it's somebody does something, it tracks, and then you can guarantee that the next day, 8
Everybody's
million
doing it,
people are going to do the same exact kind of thing. And it's like, to me, that gets so annoying. That's why I've gotten way more like away from consuming more, right?
Yeah.
And get more back into like creating instead of, because it's like,
exactly.
and especially now, like when you do, like how I handle social media is I don't have the apps downloaded, so I have to go through the browser, and it's a pain in the ass, right?
Good for you.
I just fucking deleted them.
But that's what he did too. So if he wants to get on, he has to go through his
I have to
internet
go
browser.
through the
I just
browser.
don't even.
Oh yeah, no, that's the next step. But
a raw dog.
But one of the things is like one of the things I notice now, and that's why I kind of made that joke the other day, is that like now it's just like just regular Facebook posts are fucking ChatGPT generated. It's like, dude, you don't need to use ChatGPT to tell me that your fucking baby daddy isn't paying fucking child support or whatever. You can just say that shit. Dude. I don't need a fucking M dash and antithesis phrasing and it's
All
just
the
like,
Jippities, man.
and
Good old
on top of that, it's
ChatGPT.
like I've seen your posts. You're a fucking moron, and all of a sudden now you're saying this profound shit. I don't know. It's just so. And then the pictures are fucking AI, and everything about it is just like, god damn.
Yeah, but if
The
you're
only
not
thing I use that shit for is I'll go into AI and I'll literally, I like talking to it better.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, listen, motherfucker, this is going to be out of order. This is going to be chaos. But here's what I want to do. And I'll lay out like a business plan or a promotional plan or something to like send to a bands or a venue or something.
See, that's different.
And then
though,
I'm like,
I
now
think.
organize it, put it in bullet points, make it look professional, not too professional. Like, don't swear, but don't be too formal, and then it'll kick me out a version. I'll be like, still too formal, and then I'll be like, oh, that's way too relaxed. No, tighten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'll get like, I refine it. And I'll be like, you fucked this up. I like yelling at AI a lot. It's so cathartic, dude. You stupid piece of shit. Why would you lie? That's not real. That's not what I fucking said. I told you how to spell it.
See, and like for shit like that, like for like you got a
It's
small
just-
business or you're making ad, like fuck, by all means,
It's
use
a
it.
bullet point presentation, but
Use it for that shit, but like
to articulate your
if you're
thoughts,
just trying to articulate just a regular post, like
don't
just
fuck
post
yourself,
it,
you disingenuous piece of shit.
Or like I saw legit posts about like like after Ozzy passed, and it was like supposed to be heartfelt posts, and it's like, dude, this is clearly ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Like, just speak from your heart. Who cares if it sounds great? You know what I don't know, man. I'm turning into a fucking boomer, I guess.
No, I don't know. I think, honestly, again, even the kids that are my brother's age, which are 15, 20 years younger than us, they resonate with that, dude. Yeah. And because there's a lot of things that are just, I fucking just read this study the other day. Jason, see if you can pull this up.
Sure.
It was something to the degree of
chippity that.
It was something to the degree of there's a new epidemic where I think it's high school kids or maybe it's middle school age kids. There's a certain percentage of them that are they have something called like decision paralysis. They can't make a decision on literally anything without consulting ChatGPT or some other AI.
Well, did you see that MIT study?
It's not like a whole fucking generation, but it's a small group of of like a personality type almost, and they're like, this is a fucking problem.
Did you see that MIT study?
It might be that.
So I don't remember all the details, but the gist of it is that they had like two different groups, right? They had one that was doing like problem solving, critical thinking, just normal, and then they had another group that used ChatGPT to do that, right? And they did it for a period of time, and they scanned their brain waves. Then they took away ChatGPT and then gave them problems to solve. And the parts of your brain that do critical thinking, right, and discernment and that kind of stuff, the people that were using AI for their problem solving, those parts didn't even fucking fire, dude.
Right, yeah.
And this was after like 2 weeks or whatever. I don't remember all the details, but I do remember that it was like it wasn't working. It was literally you don't use it, you lose it.
And why that matters is because creativity and problem solving are basically the only way you could possibly even define intelligence, right? Because if you try to define intelligence by any other way, we're going to just say that's just memory recall.
Yeah.
You just memorized a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Right? It's creativity and problem solving. Those people that truly imagine new ideas, usually because they're trying to solve a problem, and they're very creative and they think about things differently, often with the fucking help of a little bit of drugs, usually some psychedelics. That's where DNA and some of fucking allegedly some of Tesla's shit came from. But regardless, that's what real intelligence is, right? So for those things to like go dim or shut down entirely, that's quite definitively making you dumber.
And what think of what a government could do with an entire populace who's like that.
Right.
I mean, we already got motherfuckers who still copy and paste that. Effective tomorrow, if you don't copy and paste this, Meta can use your data or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I'll see these people.
I can't tell you how many times I go, this isn't real. Don't post this. Just delete this. Nope, just in case.
Yeah, just in case. It's like, and then you want me to like to follow your opinions on politics and things that matter.
Right,
you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, dude.
Like, Jesus.
AI is wild. I don't know.
There's obviously going to be great aspects, but for me, I feel like we can't stop it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it's like, yes, there's going to be obviously great benefits from it, just like most new technology. But at what cost?
Bro, have you guys seen the AI Bigfoot videos?
The phenomenon of over-reliance on AI. Now, this is also AI telling us this.
Yeah.
Hold on, but let's see what it says. Studies show that people can become overly reliant on AI systems like ChatGPT for making decisions, potentially to the detriment of their critical thinking skills and to the quality of those decisions. This is known as automation bias, where users favor AI-generated information over their own judgment, especially when faced with complex tasks where AI is perceived as more reliable. Now, here's my point. I didn't set out to make this point, but as I read this, it describes the exact same group of people that we were just talking about that blindly follow their political party. Their own judgment will say, I'm pretty sure this isn't the right call. But guess what? When faced with complex tasks, now replace every time it says government. Studies show that people can become overly reliant on government systems, like the government, for making decisions, potentially to the detriment of their own critical thinking skills and the quality of those decisions. This is known as government bias or political bias, where users favor government information over their own judgment, especially when faced with complex tasks where government is perceived as more reliable. Bro, and then you can just replace that with Republican or Democrat, who, depending on who you hate more. You know what I mean? Like, holy fuck, dude. So that's the same person, but it's a different generation. It's a different type of user, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna worship the AI god. So they're gonna tell you you can drink you can feed your kid honey. You can feed your kid honey because think about it. It's the most powerful natural thing that's ever happened in nature. It's great for all these other things. Blah 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 blah. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a doctor will be like, "Listen to me. You'll give your kid botulism. It has fungus in it that your kid's underdeveloped immune system is not ready to handle." And then that person will be like, "Yeah." But AI is better at medical stuff, I heard. So
yeah, but we did live through a time where we actually had to tell people not to eat fucking Tide Pods.
This is already becoming a thing, though. This has already become a thing through ill-informed.
No, I know.
Through ill-informed influencers.
It's just exacerbating the issue. Similar to like, there's always been shitty people. Social media exacerbated that, right?
Yeah.
We've always had dumb people.
And then we have influencers,
Yeah, now AI and all that is, exacerbating that.
We used to just have dumb actors and athletes that would say stupid shit every once in a while when they got an award and they had like 30 extra seconds.
Yeah.
Somebody would be like, "Shut the fuck up." Now it's every single person, whether they're famous or not, can't be stopped. You know what I mean? They just get to talk at fucking... at nauseum, and even going back to what we were talking about earlier, even all the influencers like Speed, like Logan Paul, like name your influencer, almost all of them were extremely talented at something, right? And then pivoted into streaming. Right, so they already had something, some sort of aura that they had already cultivated. They didn't just start off as some no-name asshole. Even the ones that seemed like they did, most of them didn't. And I've also found this out to be true with a lot of bands and artists now coming up, that the labels, because people are so sick of this shit, that the bands and the labels are now like setting bands up as this new underground band. Like, no, bitch, they got signed to a label. They, like, that kid's fucking uncle is ... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nope, they hide it now. They'll intentionally shoot you in garages, right, on sets. They'll intentionally put you in bad spots to get you that sort of underground come up feel, dude. Like, it's all fucking fake, dude. That's all of it, dude. All of it. It's so tiring, dude.
You know how Bill Burr has that
And it's
joke?
not even a secret, by the way. If you just start researching this, you will immediately discover the rap. And they don't even hide. They're like, yeah, we totally do this. That's why half of these bands that pop on Instagram, when they're doing their garage things, if you notice, it's always the same garage. It's a set. And they don't pretend it's not. They're like, yeah, that's this place. You go rent it. It's $800 for 8 hours. You go there, you shoot a music video. It looks like you're jamming in a garage.
Well, it's like you just got to find the thing that sticks. I mean, whatever. If you're trying to find the audience, right? Eventually, like you're saying, is you finally hit that one thing that goes viral, and you just hammer it home.
Yep.
Right. So it's like,
see, and I think that's part of my problem is like I don't relate to any of that.
Me neither.
You know what I mean? Like Bill Burr has that joke about I think it was the Duck Dynasty guy where when he said a bunch of like homophobic stuff, he's like, "What'd you expect him to say? He's fucking 90 years old and blah 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 blah." And then he goes into that joke about how like he just lived too long.
Yeah,
that's all that happened. I think
I got old too quick.
I think what happened is like technology advanced at such a rapid rate, right? And then it just keeps doubling down and the rate of expansion, and so now the live too long is 40. Like now you're in your 40s. It's like it's the equivalent of what being 90. Like it's like you can't relate to any of this shit anymore.
I think instead of just technology increasing at a rapid rate, social change started happening at a rapid rate.
Well, and I think,
to where people's minds can't keep up with it. We're
and I
like,
think
yo,
technology,
slow the fuck down.
I think technology
made that happen. Social media specifically.
It was the vehicle that that sped up the change.
You know
right?
what it was? You know what it was specifically? It was monetizing going viral. Because think about it. Before, you would go viral, but you didn't make any money off of it. You just got famous, and it usually ruined your life. For real. Like, almost everybody that went viral before money was a thing.
Yeah.
On the internet. South Park even did an episode on this to re-mention them. It kind of ruined a lot of those people's lives. They got, like, overly famous for one or two random things, and they were fucked. But then as soon as you were able to make money off of it and like monetize your own YouTube channel, I think that's what like set the chain reaction up, the catalyst, that's the word I was looking for, that sped up this descent into madness where social things started to get monetized, like bullshit claims, bullshit movements started to get monetized. Because they're like, even if it's bullshit, it doesn't matter. If we get enough people to like and subscribe and watch this, we get advertising dollars.
Yeah, that's all.
So all we got to do is piss people off. What can we do to rile people up? And that's 50% of the content on the internet. It's just there to piss somebody off.
Dude,
it's not real.
Even as little as like back in the day, like memes, if you notice, like, and I do think some of it is just people being dumb, but I think that most of it is like, you notice people started to use the wrong "your" a lot. Like, you know, instead of YOU''RE, right?
Sure.
Or whatever. Like, my theory was that started because if you did that on a meme, what was going to happen in the comments?
Would piss people off.
Everybody in the comments would be talking about They would correct it, and then boom, there you go.
Because that's interaction.
And I think that, like, I think that's why I think people intentionally
they definitely
do that kind of
That's
shit.
the Common Man thing, right? Remember Common Man Dan Cole on KFAN?
Oh, yeah.
That was his shtick before the internet was a thing. He would intentionally talk about U2 and then call them a different band name just to piss people off, just to get them to call in, just so he could get them on the air, just so he could play dumb. And then in the background, they would play the sound of a reel being cast out and reeling him in because he's got him on the hook.
Well,
you know, they took the bait.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, it's a shtick. And it's as old as entertainment is what I'm saying. It's not even new to the internet.
No,
people
it
just figured out how to monetize it on the internet. You're 100% correct.
Well, it's trauma. Like you said, it's
correct.
like bad publicity is better than none.
Yep.
Like you just get people in, and the easiest way to draw people in now,
As long as they're talking about you.
is drama. So just say controversial stuff, do controversial things. It's super weird.
Yeah,
it's a weird.
Because even the AI
cringe
stuff,
as
it got you
fuck.
guys talking about it. Like, clearly this motherfucker is jippity the shit out of this chat. And I just look at it and I was like, cool.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know, man. That, like I said, that's a big part of why, you know, deleting the social media, all that stuff. It's just like, I don't know, like, what value does any of it provide? If you don't have a small business, you're not promoting a podcast or something like that. Like,
you're
what
in a band, right?
Like, what value does it provide to just be on there?
Yeah, but even like,
well, think about it. Hold on. Think about it. If the only people on there were people promoting their businesses and bands and podcasts, why would anybody be on there? Right? So there's got to be, because we in some way, shape, or form, I know you don't do it anymore, it's your past life, but you still at one time created music and artwork. I remember you were doing the like graphic design shit, right? So it's hard for us to completely think as just like a normal human being who consumes. Right? Consumes products, music, movies, right? Because we're kind of creators in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Maybe not rich, maybe not famous. Define your level of success, whatever. But where I'm going with this is, it's hard for us to wrap ourselves or wrap our minds around it and put ourselves in that headspace. But they have to be thinking, well, I go on Facebook or Instagram or whatever to know what's going on, right?
Yeah,
that's how you stay on the tip. That's how what do you call it, like on the fucking, what do we call it in the on the down low, you know, or fucking whatever it was called, like on the tip or whatever fucking phrase that people use nowadays. Like, how do you know what's going on? How do you know what bands are coming through town? I see them on social media. I'm fucking around on Instagram. All of a sudden, boom, I see an ad pop up. Fucking so-and-so's coming through town. I usually follow the band already. If I don't, the algorithm thinks I might like them. They show them. I hit that button, buy tickets, see what they are. If I can afford it, hey, 2 in the cart, boom. Then I let the wife know, hey, Bought tickets. You want to go? She says, nope. I hit up a buddy. Right? But this is just how it works now.
And that's why I think, like, maybe I'm telling you, I'm becoming a boomer because I go old school now. Like, and because I also want to narrow my aperture. I don't need to be into 7,000 bands, right? Like, so it's like, so I just sign up for the fucking email list for the bands that I care about.
Sure.
And then I get
then
an
how
email.
do you find a new band? Because I'm always itching for new good music, and everybody sucks,
bro.
So that's why I'm so like I have such an
That's
appetite because I gotta
YouTube.
discover 1,000 bands now before I find one. It used to be
it's YouTube for me usually.
Remember, it used to be 12. You'd listen to 12 or 15 bands. You'd find one or two. You're like, yes.
What was that fucking?
Now I
site
gotta hear 1,000 before I find one I genuinely like. Where I'm like, God, this is my new band. Boom, I'm
I
following.
usually use like Apple Music will suggest shit, right? So I'll go
I'll
down
send
rabbit.
you something every once in a while.
I mean, for me, a lot of times it's old school. A friend will send me
You
something.
ever listen to that Night Verses, by the way?
Yeah, I ended up adding.
Those guys are cool,
Yeah.
man. Like, you got to be in a weird mood.
Yep.
It kind of reminded me of like when you used to talk about driving at night during the winter.
Mm-hmm.
There was a song that was playing, and I was like, I need to send this to Jeremy. Literally, and I was driving, and I like literally waited till I was at the light, and I like went back 2 songs, found it again, shared it with you. I was like, dude, this is dope.
I don't know. For me, like with finding when I want to find new music, like it's legitimately a Saturday morning with coffee.
What do you listen to nowadays? Still metal?
Incognito? Yeah. Incognito browser, not logged in, try to remove as much information, find something, and just YouTube rabbit hole. And I give everybody
YouTube
about
as well.
15, 20 seconds to impress me, or I'm on to the next. Right?
I'm definitely
I
old
find
school.
a
I'll
lot
listen
of,
to the whole
like-
song.
You sound like a record label executive, and honestly, I kind of do the same thing. I did it earlier tonight.
There's
Remember,
so
Jason?
much out
we were
there,
checking
though.
that band out, and I in like 5 seconds, I went, I'm bored. Next,
Yeah.
because I'm just trying to check you out.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me if I wanted to listen to you. It was, I have a friend who has a problem. I have another friend who might be able to fill this gap.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
So I need to check a band out. So I told Jason, play this song. He plays it. I go, the intro's too long. Next song. He plays it 5 seconds. I go, I'm bored. Next song. Next song. Finally, it was 4 or 5 songs before we hit something, and I went, okay, cool. Yep, this is okay. And then I made the phone call. I was like, yep, this all makes sense now. It was like I wasn't even trying to get into your band. That's how you kind of describe it. You got 30 seconds tops to impress me, dude.
That's
I know
the style
when
of
somebody's
music
making
that
decisions.
I like, though. But see, I know the style of music that I like. I like catchy, hooky music, and a hooky song, like a song
How do you know
with
that
a really
within
good
30
hook.
seconds? I'm curious. I'm not trying to challenge you.
No, because like it's not a catchy. It doesn't have like a good hook because you'll always
How do you
start
know
with
that
something.
within 30 seconds?
Because the song will start with a really good hook.
Do you know
pull
what the question
in.
I'm asking? Maybe I'm doing a shit job of asking
Well, no,
it. Because,
but although I will say because of the short attention spans, I have noticed most bands hit their chorus within 30
They
seconds
start
now.
it like a pop song.
It's either the first thing right out the gate or they're into that chorus within 30
Or it's
seconds.
like a sick intro or something,
Yeah.
right? You can,
But I hear what you're
tell.
saying, yeah.
Because it's not, because if you're more into like intricate, like tech metal, you want to give it more time because you want to see what's kind of happening and going.
Yeah.
But like, I want something that's going to hit me right in the fucking face immediately, and if not,
this is
probably not what I'm into.
This is weird because, like, think about it. There's no more Metallica 1. There's no more Sweet Child of Mine. There's no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
There's no more build-ups.
Yeah.
If you got to get to it just to keep somebody interested for 30 seconds, dude, that's terrifying to me, dude.
Yeah, but even go listen to any Metallica song. You're telling me you're not drawn in within the first 30 seconds of those songs? Absolutely.
Well, we might be. I don't know about kids nowadays, though.
Exactly,
maybe. Yeah.
exactly. Because
With the-
we're not talking about us. We're talking about the proverbial you, right?
Yeah, but I think but you got to also know like what your catch is. Like,
Well, actually, we're
any
talking about
Pantera
specifically
song,
you.
like you cannot tell me within 30 seconds. You're not like, I know this is fucking sweet. You're like, no, I gotta listen to the whole 4 minutes of this motherfucker to make
Fair
a
enough.
decision.
No, you're right, dude.
You know?
You're right. No,
I
you're right.
think part of it for me, and maybe it's because I'm still creating.
When you put it like that, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm still creating music, but it's like if I'm gonna sit down and listen to something, I'm gonna put headphones on and I'm gonna at least listen to the whole, at least one song all the way through, right? Because it's like, because you might do something super fucking cool in the middle of that song, and I want to hear it, right?
Right, and
then,
that might be what grabs you.
and that's me, right? But that at the same time, but
You're
I guess
also
it's,
not an average music consumer.
Yeah,
you're,
yeah.
You're a musician, so you're looking for things to appreciate in a band.
And I also recognize that like I know that I'm kind of a square peg round hole when it comes to just people in general, like just the way my mind works and the way I look at things, right? So I do understand that like most people if it doesn't grab you, literally what you said is that's if it doesn't grab you in the first 30 seconds, on to the next thing, right? There's a million things to listen to. There's a million things going on. If you're not grabbing me, I'm gone. That is, that's why like the shit that I write, that it'll never be popular, and I don't give a fuck, right? Because I'm not writing it to be popular. But if I wanted to have a banger, you bet your ass I'd get to that chorus within the first 30 to 45 seconds, right?
I'm not gonna know my song's a banger and start off with some flute. Let's like,
but I think
I'll get him later. I promise.
They'll grab at minute 8. It really, really starts to ramp up.
Slaps, bro.
So I had to think about it for a minute, but like, what you're not. The way you're saying hook is you just mean something catchy, something interesting.
That pulls me in, and then I'll go listen to the whole album and then decide.
But the way most people say hook, though, is like that means chorus, straight up. Like that means like the main catchy part of the song. So you're like, that's why at first I was like, how do you know that within 30 seconds? But that's not the way you're using that phrase.
Yeah.
You're using that phrase as in like the riff,
something grab
the riff,
you. Right.
the rhythm. Something has to immediately be interesting, intriguing. Something has to hook you. That's how we used to use. That's how we used to use the term hook. And then hip hop got popular. And then hip hop got popular, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's the hook." And I always used to sit with these guys. I'd be like, "Do you mean the chorus?" And they're like, "No, that's the hook." And I was like, "Yeah, that's called the chorus, like the main thing that we repeat over and over again, the best part of the song." And they're like, "Yeah, the hook." And I was like, "That's called the chorus."
That's not what ChatGPT fucking told me.
And they're like, nigga, it's called the hook. You know what I mean? Like, well, I'll call it the hook so you don't fucking stab me. But like, just so you know, when I say chorus, let's repeat the chorus. Like I'm saying hook. Okay? Let's double the chorus. That means hook. But no, it's a thing, dude. So now that I understand what you're saying, it makes a lot more sense. Because 30 seconds is completely reasonable. Like if I'm
something
bored,
should interest you.
If I'm bored 30 seconds into your song,
God.
that's a filler song.
Yep.
So that better not be a leading single. That better be on the back end of your album. So I better already be into your shit, decided to put on the whole record, and I'll catch that song when I'm cleaning, and maybe it'll be like some of those obscure Metallica or Megadeth songs that secretly get in your head.
Yeah.
And like a year later, you're like, I fucking love that backtrack, fucking track number 9 that nobody knows, unless you're a real fan.
Yeah.
Like none of the fucking normies, none of the mainstreamers, none of the hit likers. Know this, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
dude? Fucking like My Friend of Misery.
Yeah,
like that one. That one is like a weird, sneaky favorite. The Struggle Within. Black Album songs that
didn't pop as much.
And they don't even get respect from Metallica fans.
Yeah.
But I listened to that record while I was cleaning or doing homework, and so there's certain things they do in these songs.
That interlude in My Friend of Misery, dude.
Bro,
fuck.
There's a bunch of weird-ass songs like that are secret favorites of mine, but they're not singles. They're not hits.
Yeah.
You don't expect everybody to like
That's
them.
the challenge that I found, especially nowadays, is no bands try to write
like an
a
album,
front-to-back album.
concept album.
Yeah.
Especially
it is like you'll have
It's pretty rare,
It's like
yeah.
you write one really good song, and then they'll let you experiment with everything else, where it's just like, yeah, but that's fucking sucks, dude. Like, I want like a good album.
There are
front to
bands that
back.
do it, but they're few and far between. I think the only one that I love that does exactly is still Coheed. Like they're putting out relevant music, like a lot, like often, and every album is a piece of art that is meant to be listened to from front to back. Like it's exactly that, and it goes with actually a comic book series and a novel series.
Yeah.
So it's actually a huge story and a soundtrack and blah 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 blah. But
I think you're talking
they're
about
one
an
of the
album
best
of
at that.
bangers, though, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, yeah, like
I mean, Coheed writes a lot of bangers.
Yeah.
If you're into Coheed.
I mean,
like,
I gotta be honest. I don't even remember the last one. It might have been like the second to last. What is it? Shaped by Fire, that Asley Dying album. That came. It was like the first one after.
When they got it. Oh, yeah. With the except, there's only one song in that album that I'm not a fan of. Otherwise, I think the rest.
I think every song. I thought every single one of them was super good. I
on
enjoy that
the
I can
second
play it and then just like let it play.
Yeah.
I don't
I
have
think
to
I
go
liked the
touch
second
radio.
one, and then after that, I kind of fell off.
Whatever the last one was.
Because remember, we were in Dying Euphoria still together. I think you had already left by that point, and I was getting. Remember, I started vocalizing this. I don't know if you remember it.
I don't know.
But I was just vocalizing how like I was getting burnt out on metalcore because we were starting to play a lot and we were starting to play with out of town bands and like we were kind of like verging on getting ready to go on tour. So we were doing a lot of like weekend warrior shit. And dude, I got I remember having this exact conversation with John Laramie, where John's like, I can't listen to any more opening bands. And I was like, and it wasn't because we were good or I was burnt out. Every single one of us started to sound the same. And the first time it hit me, do you remember when we played Station 4 with that really dope metalcore band from Spokane, Washington?
With that real fat guitar player, but he moved like,
dude.
Do you remember I'm talking?
Yeah.
He was jumping. He was
Yep.
like.
Yep.
He moved like he weighed 100
They were
pounds.
amazing. They were amazing.
And
But they
sing,
also
too.
sounded like literally every possible metalcore band at the same time.
Yeah.
That was the first night it hit me. And then it started to hit me at almost every show after that. I think it hit me again at Diecast, because that was after that. It hit me at a few more shows where I just started getting burnt out on that genre of music, dude. And I'm like, I can't fucking do this anymore. Like, I can't listen to these bands. I can't. And I was out, dude. That's when I started hanging out in the van and smoking weed. Remember, I started wanting to play Madden football. I was like, I'll be in there when we're in here. Come on, man, we need to be out here. I was like, I fucking can't. I can't, dude. All these fucking bands sound the same. And half of them had shitty gear or it wasn't dialed in well. You know what I mean? My back's starting to hurt. You know, I was 26 at this time. Like it was just starting, you know. It was just I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, but everybody started trying to do what's that sure thing, right? And I mean, it was pretty hard to not be a catchy metalcore band. But yeah, it was like overkill for me.
I'm not criticizing anybody for it. I'm just admitting, like, and I didn't realize a lot of this, especially I didn't realize I had vocalized it until some of these memories started coming back now that I'm playing out again. Like, I have a very difficult time checking out the other bands because, like, if you play before me, I'm worried about getting ready to play.
Yeah.
If you play after me, I'm trying to decompress because I just got done playing. I'm sweating like a pig. You know what I mean? I'm trying to fucking bring my heart rate back down so I don't turn into Jared Lee Roth. You know what I mean? Like, this is real. Like, so I'm outside trying to cool down, fucking smoke a cigar, enjoy my fucking chill. Like, it's tough, dude, because I'm burnt out, dude. My back hurts. Like, I'm getting old. I'm being genuine, dude. And I didn't remember a lot of this until I started playing out again. A lot of it started to come back. I was like, this is those. Remember when you get nostalgic about the ex-girlfriend and then you start dating her again and you're like, this is why we broke up.
You're like, oh, that's right.
This is why we broke up. I'm not ready to break up, but I'm just like, oh, it wasn't all peaches and cream. You know, like there's a lot of shitty things about this. And it's not like the business. It's the body. You know, you get old. Dude, things start to hurt. Like, nights get long. You're like, fucking.
There's a reason I'm not playing anymore.
It's really loud out there.
There's like, for me, like I was talking to Kyle about this the other day, is like, my problem is that, like, my joy comes from being on stage and performing the way that you guys know how I perform, you know, like fucking running around and just being super active. That, like, if I can't do that, I don't enjoy playing on stage anymore. And towards the end of Gravesig, I was finding that, like, fuck, dude, like, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't partying, I was literally just playing a show and going home, and it would take me 3 fucking days
to recover,
like. And I was just, and you know, and I was talking to a few friends. They're like, well, "What if you just tone it down on stage a little bit?" I'm like, "If I tone it down on stage, why the fuck am I even going to be on stage then?" You know, so that was kind of part of it. So I'm totally tracking. Like and it's like, and I work out, I stretch, I take care of myself.
It's the cum.
But yeah, that is probably I probably shouldn't drink so much cum.
It's the anal too.
Yeah. That's probably it. If it was only my own cum, it might not be such a big deal. But
the problem is it's come from older gentlemen.
Yeah,
you got to go younger. You consume the energy of the cum. So when you're consuming elderly cum, Jeremy, and I know that's your thing.
That's true.
But it's draining your energy.
Come to think of it, the pre-show bukakis probably weren't a good ritual. You know,
this is why nobody's molesting or sacrificing old men. It's always young boys.
But see, do you think it'd be different if you were playing earlier in the day?
Have you heard of adrenochrome?
That could be a different, for sure, too.
Say that again?
That was the
Say it again?
Playing earlier in the day. For me, a lot of the burnout towards the end of the Dying Euphoria stuff, it was just like, man, we were always playing last.
You're headlining
like
at midnight.
Fucking 1, 2 in the morning.
Yep.
And then we had to be there before doors open.
And
So
by the time you're done playing, it's 1 a.m.
Yeah.
You're loaded out at 2 a.m. Your after party starts at 2:30, 3 a.m. By the time you're ready to go to bed, it's 9 a.m.
And then your whole next day is kind of shot, right?
Which is fine when you're 21 and
I
you
would
don't
say
have a job.
it didn't bother me back then, but these days,
Yeah,
that.
right.
That's
just-
impossible.
Yeah.
You know, and it was fun and everything, but as times kept going on, it was like, holy shit.
Best
man,
thing about
like-
the pandemic, by the way, it bumped all the shows up 4 hours.
Oh, dude, yeah, like
Now
most,
doors are at 6, opening band's at 7, headliner goes on at 10. Bro, we're
like,
done by
fuck yeah.
11. Like
Well, that's
we
right.
can do a little after party. You can come over and have some beers and still leave at 12:30, 1 o'clock,
Yeah.
and be home by 2, and still wake up at 9, 10
Yes.
a.m. and mow the fucking lawn, bro. It's great. It's great, bro.
That was like
it's great.
back, you know, it was
And
like
the
all
young kids don't know no better because
Yeah.
they're just coming into the shows, and this is how you do things now. They
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
what it used to be like, dude.
Well, you know, it was like all age shows at the Quest. It's like, man, I just went and saw Soilwork and Flames and Chimera, and I'm out of there by 9:30.
Yeah.
This is fantastic, you know. And it's like all of those, you go out and just have a fucking blast, and then you still have a night. Because then it's
You
you
gonna
know
drink
with,
this?
with those shows. No, it's all yours. So
Bitch. That's why you ain't got no bitches.
well, yeah.
oh, the fucking rampage.
That's why you got no bitches.
$5.
$5. Man, fuck y'all.
Turn up $5. I
Yo,
ain't here for
man,
that
y'all
shit. $2.
Man, y'all disrespectful as
That
fuck.
is, that's a good point though. Like, maybe I would hung on with Gravesegg longer if it was,
Right.
yeah, if you know you're
Playing a little earlier.
playing earlier. But that's I mean, I guess
That is the nice thing also.
That's
when
old
you,
man me.
But this is the nicer thing, though, and this is always how it's been. When you graduate to the true national scene, those shows are early as fuck. The headliner's going on at 9, 10 o'clock at
Yeah.
night. You know, that's your Metallica, your Bon Jovi. And yeah, it's because, I get it. It's because they're playing 2-3 hours. I totally understand that. But they can do whatever they want. If they wanted to, they could go on at midnight and still play 2-3 hours if they're playing US Bank Stadium. They don't exactly have a noise ordinance coming out of
Yeah.
that stadium. You know what I mean?
Well, your demographic gets larger though too the earlier you play.
Of course.
You know,
Of course.
Like that was always the thing though too.
And that's what I'm saying.
And it's
I
more
love it.
accessible.
It's the
Sure,
best
you
thing-
can
it's
do
the
whatever
best
you
thing
want,
that
but
happened.
what's the best thing for you to do as well? You know,
Is there any other cool, positive things that genuinely happened from the pandemic that you guys
Me?
can think of? Because for me, genuinely, I think the fact that shows got because the reason for it for people that aren't from Minneapolis and they don't know why this is a thing is for a while the law was bars were no longer able to stay open till 2. They had to close by it was like midnight or 11 or something like that. So if you were going to do a concert, everything got bumped up by like literally 4 hours,
Yeah.
5 hours. And then when the pandemic was done, the people didn't immediately rush back. So, and even if they would have, the people didn't have the same staff that they did.
Yeah.
So it was like this slow reopening. And one thing that never really happened is shows getting bumped back to where doors are at 8, opening
Yeah.
band at 9, headliner at midnight. That's just not really a thing anymore.
I think you're coming up with the only good thing that came out of the pandemic, Jared.
Am I? You think so? There's
Well,
got to be
I'm-
something else,
That
right?
was good. I was thinking about that the other day too. I think what other good thing? That was a good
I
thing.
mean, inflation, high house prices,
Webcams got a lot cheaper and a lot better.
Yeah.
It got a lot easier
a lot
to
more
do.
OnlyFans to go
It got
through.
it got a lot easier to do online streaming and podcasts. That might be one of the positive things because a lot of people had to invest in that because people were fucking not only starting podcasts, but everybody was working from home. Everybody
Yeah.
needed a microphone and a.
Yeah, but a lot of that with your computers and shit that you had to issue with Bitcoin mining. So like GPUs went through the freaking roof.
Yeah, that's a huge negative aspect of it.
that was
yeah.
crazy, man.
And that lasted a while.
Oh
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, if you want to, because remember, I mean, even you know this. I know you're not a big computer guy, but remember how it was like everybody would say, "Well, it's cheaper to you can build a badass computer for way cheaper than you could buy one in the store."
Yeah.
Bro, between the pandemic happening and Bitcoin mining, that was not true, and
At
it's
all.
barely true again. Like it was hands down either the same price or cheaper to go buy a pre-built from Best Buy. Like it got weird, dude. Like certain components got irrationally expensive. Like
Was all the GPUs because
Yeah.
they were GPU farming.
yeah, and some of them were like the
Super
cost
weird.
of the computer.
Yeah.
basically, because that's the whole point. You know, I need the GPU.
I need my GPU.
I need a GPU.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, like we were talking about earlier. I mean, I guess like for me, you know, again, blessing and a curse, but like that's how I ended up going remote, right, for my job, and then
Right.
it just stayed remote. Blessing and curse, like I was saying earlier, was blessing. I'm way more effective at my job working remote.
you don't have distractions.
Yeah,
and
it's like, and especially the way I work, I'm more of a burst of energy type of worker. So it's like I can get a fucking shitload of work done in like 2 hours.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just the way I work. Whereas in an office, you're not really allowed to do that.
Right.
So then you're just doing a bunch of putsy shit to appear busy.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
So, but the curse part is like, there's no getting around it. There is just something about just being in the environment with your coworkers, whether you like them or not or whatever. But just that energy and just the routine of that. You know, it's like. It's like, yeah, I work remote now, but now I have like 10 things I have to do to try to replicate the way, I'll have a podcast playing quietly in the background. So it's like office chatter. So
somebody's talking in the background. Yeah.
And then it's like, you got to go for a walk before work. And then you got to go, and then you actually get ready like you're going to the office to trick your mind. And then after work, you got to go for a walk or, you know what I mean? It's like, you got all these other routines, which it sounds like what a dumb thing to complain about. I'm not complaining about it, but it's more of just calling out.
It's also, again, not all peaches and cream. Like it requires a different level of discipline because all these things that are normally there automatically built in, you have to, in order for, at least for you, maybe not everybody, but at least for you and me and people like us, you have to kind of like go through some extra effort to make sure you don't fuck this up, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I understand it. It makes a ton of sense, dude.
Yeah, well, that's like the one thing. Yeah, being back, it's like when I go in the office, it's like you've hit your move goal today, awesome. And then when I sit at home, it's like, nice try, wah wah.
232 steps. The shit,
dude. Seriously,
and they're all from my home office to my toilet.
So yeah, those are all the weird things. I don't know.
Man, I'd put in a ton of steps to the toilet, bro, if I measured them.
Dude, that's another thing working remotely. I don't know if it did this to you working remotely, but like my resilience of my bladder is fucking non-existent now. Like as soon as I feel like I have to piss,
you're pissing.
It's like I gotta go piss. I can't fucking sit there and like because working at home, it's just like I gotta piss.
You just go
do it, and then it's like. So like I'll be in a 2-hour meeting, right? Go into the office for a 2-hour meeting. You should be able to hold your fucking piss for 2 hours. I'm like 45 minutes in and I'm like, they're gonna give us a fucking break? Jesus, I can taste my piss, Like, yeah, I have lost all piss resiliency.
That's so funny.
Not really.
That's why I was like, I'm gonna piss quick before we get started.
For me, it's just how engaged am I. If I'm not engaged, then I'm going.
That's probably part of it too.
I'm going, but if it doesn't matter where I'm at or what I'm doing, if I'm in, dude, it can be a while until I'm like, dude, if I don't go right fucking now, I'm gonna piss my.
See, I hit that emergency spot like 45 minutes after a piss. It's like what the fuck, and then you go piss and you're like, this was not an emergency,
right? Yeah.
I notice I go more stir crazy. Like I have to move a lot more when I'm at home.
Yeah.
As opposed if I'm like at office where I can just sit down and grind. So, because I think it's just because like I'm in the same place again. Like I feel like I keep moving.
Yeah.
Like I'm here all the time.
Yeah,
I was saying is like having my game like where I game right in the same office. Like I'm in the same rooms. Like I don't ever go to the basement. Like I go down there rarely. But I have like freaking projector down there. I don't do anything. That's where I got the drums. So I'll go down there sometimes.
Yeah.
Other than
you are still
laundry.
drumming.
Here and there, yeah. I moved to an electric kit just so I stop pissing the neighbors off. Because when before Sanders ended up having the first kid, we were doing like weekly happy hours, like wings, and then we would jamming.
Nice.
So
that sounds fun.
But it was like fucking
Who were you
loud
doing
as
that with?
shit. Sanders.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But then we had stopped doing that like when the kiddo came because he's got the family responsibilities. So
yeah.
But yeah, we were doing that for quite a while.
Sanders is dope. I love that guy.
Yeah,
Sanders
he's one of my favorite guitar players from.
He's been on the podcast a couple
here.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't really talk to him much anymore, but I always fucking respected that dude. Love that dude.
Oh, they were great.
Dude, a moment without God, that band was so fucking good, dude. I love that band.
It was nice because they were just like they were different. Like I wouldn't say I don't know how to say it, but they were like a breath of fresh air, kind of coming out of the scene.
Well, it's one of those things where they took like we're gonna do these guys because we all tried to do this, right? We're gonna do guitars from this band, drums like this, vocals like this, but it never worked. it worked with them.
It worked with them.
When they did it, it was like, oh, that formula makes sense, because it's kind of like, cooking. It's not a science. I understand it's all frequencies. Yes, it's literally science, but it's an art. It's like cooking. You might mix these ingredients and they should taste good together, but you fucking mix the butter too thoroughly or whatever. I don't know. You fuck something up and it doesn't taste right. It's off.
You use generic ginger.
Right.
That'd be the equivalent of like you got a whatever. You've got an M Shadows type vocalist, but was like a kind of a shitty version of it.
I thought you meant like your singer's Irish, but they should have had black hair and they're just albino instead of being an actual fucking ginger.
As soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, I should have picked a different spice or a different flavor.
It's just an albino. It's just an albino white guy who should have had black hair, but he happens to be Irish.
That's like a perfect band name. Generic Ginger.
Generic Ginger. Let's do it. It sounds like a good punk band.
I wanted to create with you and John Wheeler and a couple other cats like a YouTube reality show that was sort of like a Spinal Tap thing, right? But something like way grittier and way more like I don't know how to explain it without ruining it because some of it has to be told off air. It's kind of like you remember my Hey Beauregard shit.
Oh God,
I've got scenes like that, right? Where I've got like a thing where I'm like, we got to have this discussion to set me up for this punchline.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got a couple things for you. And basically the premise was, the thing I can say is it was like Spinal Tap, but the difference was it's kind of Spinal Tap meets Death Clock. So we're actually huge, but not. It's Spinal Tap meets Death Clock meets It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Dude.
So we're actually huge, but we're horrible people and absolutely hated in our own town to the point where we aren't even able to play a single gig in our own town. There's no rock star perks when we go to the grocery store. People throw food at us and tell us to leave, right? But we're fucking huge everywhere else. But the absolute worst people on the planet. And I was like, who could I possibly do this with that aren't actors but are all musicians? So if we had to make music, we could. And it doesn't even have to be good. We just got to be like competent enough at writing a song and be like, that's a song.
Yeah.
Cool. And I was like, dude, Jeremy and John Wheeler. And I was like, between the three of us, we have all the instruments covered as well. And then we just got to get one or two more personalities, right? And I was like, dude, I hit up John Wheeler. I don't even think I got to you because John was like, I don't have time. And I was like, neither do I. God damn it. I was hoping you were going to be super on board and then I would like
find the time.
Yeah.
Dude, if you guys ever find the time, let me know.
It'd be great.
I got time.
Because I've seen clips lately. It'd be a really good way to do a show like that is like Eastbound and Down style.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
God.
Where
Exactly.
you just fell from grace, but you still think you're just the shit.
Yes.
Just
but they
local
are the shit.
hometown, boom.
But they're not local town heroes. They're actually legitimately still huge, like a Death Clock.
It's almost like the inverse of Kenny Powers.
Yep,
Just a little
yep.
bit, but yeah.
Kenny fuck Powers.
But everybody in town knows better.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's a big town. It's not like they're just in some tiny town where everybody knows them.
Yeah.
They're in a town like Minneapolis, like, a couple million people. Yeah, a couple million people. And everybody still knows them and hates them. They burned 2 million people. You know what I mean? Like everyone hates them in this town. But somehow they have the best PR person. So as soon as they leave the city of Minneapolis, because it was going to be based here, as soon as they leave the city of Minneapolis, they're the biggest thing in the world. Like literally Death Clock, like the biggest band in the world.
Dude, we'd have to figure out like a creative, funny ass reason of why we can't relocate. Dude. That'd be a fun like. And that could be sort of like it takes a while before you figure out because people they'd be like, why don't they just fucking relocate?
What if it's because we found some sort of solace in not being bothered while we're finally home because we're so famous everywhere else that it's annoying. Like Paris Hilton or Tom Cruise or The Rock level of famous to where it's like, even though they hate us, at least we can go about our lives. We like actually live like pretty decent lives and shit too, but no one fucking likes us. But somehow it's oddly comforting because we can live a normal life. You can go to the grocery store and the worst thing that happens is you get pelted with fruit. It's like it's better than the paparazzi. I don't know. Maybe that's a dumb idea, but...
It'd be it's a good representation of almost just modern society of the extremes. So you're either loved or hated. There is no in between. You're like, fuck, man.
Just gotta go Wayne's World.
Can't
style.
someone
He's
just
so good in the basement?
People then have like the bass player genuinely beloved by everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, but like not harassed. Like just like he can also go everywhere and no one even in New York.
Yeah.
People are just like, hey man, good to see you. Like no one ever says anything.
What
mean
if
to
the bass player is the only one who's loved in Minneapolis and he's hated everywhere else?
That would be especially hilarious.
And that's why we
Fucking
can't.
bass
And that's why we
players.
can't leave.
Oh my god, that might be it. That might be it, dude. That might be it.
Oh god, I love it.
I'm liking this idea more and more that we talk about it, dude.
Cool. Sign me up when I'm ready to watch it.
I was gonna say, what character do you want to play?
Nobody.
You could be the manager.
No, you know what you should do?
I'm gonna be the mailman. I'll
No,
stop by.
you know who you should be? You should be the director of the mockumentary.
Oh,
you should
you
be
could
the
be
director of the documentary in the mockumentary. So you're almost never actually on camera. A lot of times it's just a voiceover from you behind the camera, but every once in a while you'll like walk in and you can be like, guys, we can't shoot this.
You're
Like,
you're Marty from Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Just say, I'll do it if I'm more like a Toby Flenderson.
That's it. That's the Office, right?
Yeah.
Fucking Toby.
No. God, no.
No, God, no.
I'm more interested in how a member of your staff has been back for a week and you haven't, and you just noticed now when he calls to complain. I don't like to go back to the annex.
They'd start making better shows and stuff like that.
You know, I love Steve Carell, and I'm happy he went on to do movies, but I felt like he left that show too early. And that's a show that they should have just taken breaks. This is what I think they should do with great shows now. Instead of ending it or recasting, just take breaks. Just like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
They just took a few years off.
Yep.
I think at one point it was like it felt like 10 years.
Yeah, they took a fucking long ass break for a while.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Fine. You want to take a few years? Because it's so hard to get good IP that like works.
Mm-hmm.
Let people take breaks. If that's what they need to do, don't put them under the pressure and the scrutiny of having to come out with 15 seasons. You know, not everybody can be, you know, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, but I think
make that call back.
when you do that, I think what I liked about it, when he left, it was like at peak, and then it started to really trickle down.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. The moment he left, the show went off the rails.
But think of like Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Like those first 3 seasons were fantastic, and then the 4th one went to Netflix, and it was just dumpster fire. They took some time off, came back, and it just didn't have that fire that it did. Right?
True,
Yeah.
but didn't that happen because like writers and other people left, so it wasn't the exact same. It's not like
the same.
Sunny or Curb, where it was very in-house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like when Curb came back, it's like Larry David wrote the season.
Yeah.
The entire cast came back, brought extra guests. When Sunny, it's the gang writes this shit minus the fucking minus D. I forget her name, Caitlin Olsen.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 3 guys that write everything and do everything. She's there, but it's those 3 guys that write everything. So
It's gotta be enticing enough though, because it's like, you know,
'Cause you're right.
Workaholics could be another one because they wrote that. But I'm
Yeah.
kind of glad that
They
it
lived in
ended.
that house, too, for a while.
I think it was like the first year, 2 of them lived there, and like
Yeah.
people just stopped.
They
by
would
and
just fucking show up
party.
and shit,
Yeah.
you're right though. If you wait too long,
Yeah.
you're right. No, you're right, Jason. If you
But I
wait
think-
too long, especially all the sequels to movies, those are the worst.
That's definitely, especially if it's like something like that where there's an actual like a long like a storyline. Like you can kind of like Always Sunny shows like that. You can kind of do it because there's an underlying theme, but for the most part, it's kind of you can kind of parachute in
And they've kind of South Parked it where they go like parody on topical stuff that's happening in society.
Yeah.
They started farming it like South Park does.
But if it's like Stranger Things, like I used to love that show, and then they took such a long break. I tried to get and
great point.
I started watching it, and it got to the point where I actually got kind of mad. I was like, I actually kind of hate this show now, even not because it's not good, because it's like.
Yeah.
I was so into it, and you waited so fucking long, and then
Right.
and then when I finally watched it again, it's like,
And I get it. They're kind of trying to do an it thing.
yeah,
Like this creeps up. You know, it's been years on purpose.
yeah,
You know, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, but It's hard to get back into these
That's
characters.
the thing. I'm sure the storyline is still fucking great. It's more like, do I really want to go back and rewatch those first few seasons to try to remember what the fuck was?
Well, see, I'd wait until. See, I didn't watch any of those till I think it was like just before season 4 of Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
And now I'm gonna go. I'll go rewatch it again before 5, which ends. Just like get back up to speed. But that's always kind of nice because I could binge it. It's just like Cobra Kai was another one.
Yeah.
But then the last season took forever. I was just like not interested.
Yeah, that's So you guys are right. If the break takes too long, I will lose interest unless it's an epic like a Curb.
Yeah,
like Curb's coming back for one more. I don't care if it's been 10 years. I'm watching it. Sold. I'll sign up for HBO. I don't give a fuck. We haven't had it in a year. We're getting it now, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know,
you'll know like first episode though.
So
you'll know
right.
if it still has that
spark,
right? But like, do you try to chance it or not?
You guys are right though. Like,
well, duh.
The break is a great idea when it comes to just like not fucking recasting. But you're right. If you take too much time, you lose the magic, you lose the rhythm, the chemistry. You switch writers, directors.
I think that's the key, like you said, like with Arrested. Because I remember I was so bummed. I was, oh my god, Arrested Development's back, sweet. And I was like, and then I thought I was like, well, maybe like did I just change and like I don't find it funny anymore?
No, it just wasn't good.
Or just
you go back and watch the first 3 were just magic.
The first 3 seasons.
Look at that! I just blew myself.
And it was that show was so ahead of its time, dude. Like way ahead of its time.
That's Ron Howard, right? That directed and made that.
God, I couldn't tell.
So he must have switched writing teams when they came back.
He might,
Or other people had influence, you know?
Because he was the
Netflix
narrator
too.
Yeah.
Well, and I was talking. This is just a metaphor, but I was talking to a couple different musicians about this, like why some bands struggle to like book properly. And I said, well, most of you run it as a democracy. They were like, well, yeah, of course. And I was like, that's not how you get anything done. No, because every 3 months somebody else has fucking got an input. You know, you didn't like how that, but you're not. What you need to do is you have one person who has true authority over this within the band, and the next year is on them, right? Because it takes 3 to 6 months to do things right, and you need to have you remember, you booked shows, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If every 3 months somebody else in this band is like, oh, well, I want to do this thing over here, and then you try that, you're going to waste 2 years doing experiments, right? What you need is like one cohesive plan that goes 6 months to a year, and then when that fails, there's only one person who's responsible, right? It's that guy, and then he should be humble enough to reevaluate as these successes and failures go in, tweak, modify, and continue to move forward. But there's too many things that too many bands do as a democracy, and it's like, no, you need to just take one band member and put him in charge of that, so he can get really good at that one thing. He's already playing drums. Let him go fucking do. He's also great at art. He makes all your flyers and artwork. I know you want to do it. I know you want to do it, bass player, because you're kind of good at it too. But just let him be that expert.
Yeah.
You should do something else. You know, I think that's one of the things is too many people have too many hands and too many pots. And I think that also ends up happening in some of these TV shows, especially when they come back. All the actors have input. Well, we should do this. Well, we should do that. Whereas what made this show great was this one fucking guy was like, this is what we're fucking doing. I'm running the show. You guys are just actors. Shut the fuck up and act. Now we got big and everybody's got egos, you know, and everybody gets an input, you know.
Yeah.
I think that might be kind of part of it.
There's probably some of that too. Like, oh, I need more lines now, or I need my character to right.
Well, I think that was like the big issue with that show Community was I heard there was just nothing but problems with Chevy Chase.
Yeah, I still hear about that.
I did hear that.
Yeah.
That's where it was like he had kind of that ego, but he had been around for so long, and then you had, you know, that's why I like things when people aren't known, like Stranger Things, right? And then they eat remake. Like they were really not very well known actors, probably because they're also so young. But then you have that where you're just trusting the process,
right?
As opposed to no, I know what's best for this, and then you have like this tug of war of like, no, I need to do it. No, I need to do it. Like, usually just try to find your place.
Yeah, exactly. And just have a strong leader that goes, this is your role. This is what I need you to do. I need you to do X, Y, and Z to your fullest. Don't worry about A, B, and C. That's so-and-so's. This is like some old football shit. Do your job.
Yeah.
Worry about what you can control to the best of your abilities, because the more time you worry about this, that, and the other thing, that's time you're not perfecting your craft over here. You know, and I think that metaphor is true in any collaborative industry. There should be collaboration and input, but not control, not equal input, not equal votes on everything, right? Like, no, we're not going to fucking, oh, Jared wants to book Dying Euphoria to open up for Blink 182. I mean, honestly, we probably would have done it because it's Blink 182. It's a huge crowd, right? But if there was like some fucking thing where you guys are like, fuck you, we're not doing that, I've been like, okay, fine, Jesus Christ. I know I'm in charge of booking, but if you guys are really that passionate, fine, I'll back off. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? But like, it's like not everything is a good idea. But at the same time, if I go, yeah, dude, it's fucking a guaranteed fucking 20,000 people for 20 nights. We're doing it. 3 people in the band don't want to do it. Sometimes it takes one guy to be like, we're fucking doing it. Because just like writing a song sometimes, and you guys and John Diley proved me on this wrong multiple times, where I hated the part. I hated the verse. I hated thing, but everybody loved it. And I got outvoted, right? And then it's like, now I love it. Thank you guys for convincing me. But then sometimes it goes the other way. Sometimes there's that one stubborn dude in the band who's like, no, we're doing this fucking tour. And then by the end of the tour, everybody's like, thank God you died on that hill, because this was a great business decision for us. Or, holy fuck, now we're getting talked to by 3 records. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I think sometimes you also got to have that.
And if it goes tits up, now you know, you're not in charge of this anymore. You suck at this. If it's a democracy, who do you blame for that?
Yeah.
Well, we all voted for it. There's no one to blame. Great. Awesome. Now we learn nothing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I know I'm being a little dramatic on this, but...
No, for sure. I think the other thing, too, is like at some point being able to have that confidence to say you're not the right person if it's not working, though, too, right?
But you got to give that person the leash to fail.
Oh, for
if
sure.
You're constantly coming in and having multiple people trying to do things. And I think this happens to a lot of local bands. You have multiple people thinking everything should be a democratic decision. Nobody's ever held accountable for anything that ever goes right or wrong. So you never really get to figure out, oh, this person knows what they're doing in this area. And I think that always ended up being the most successful bands that we fucked around with, is one guy did the booking, one guy did all the artwork, one guy ran the merch, one guy fucking was in charge of all the fucking gear and getting the band to sound good. You know what I mean? Everybody kind of had their lane. You know, whether it was predetermined and they got hired for that reason, or recruited into the band for that reason, or it happened naturally and organically. I don't know. But that's just kind of something I always kind of noticed, is there's always a gear guy. There's one guy who decided, like, no, we're not using those amps. We're using these amps. No, you're not. Remember? You're not dialing in your tone that way, right? Remember? Right? No, that's not how we dial in amps. That sounds like shit. We dial them in this way, right? And then there was always a guy who was in charge of, like, the promo and the booking, right? And there's a guy who's in charge of, like, the artwork and the merch. Like, those are the bands that always work the best, because when you can't afford a manager and you can't afford a booking agent and you can't afford to pay other people to do all these jobs, you kind of have to figure out how to do that. And not all of those things should be democratically handled. I just don't think it's smart, because then nobody's also getting good at anything, because you're all splitting your bandwidth in your time, to use a Joe Rogan phrase. You're splitting your bandwidth too many ways. Play drums, book shows. Play guitar, design artwork and merch. You see what I'm going with this? Like, the less things you have to focus on, the better you can get at those couple things.
Yeah,
it's just my theory, and I'm pretty passionate about it. Not saying I'm right, but I think there's substance to the theory.
Well, I mean, it goes along with just, I mean, any endeavor. It's like, yeah, you have to have clear roles, have those roles clearly defined, right? Make sure the right person. I mean, it's no different than business, right? And
that's exactly the point.
And then and just make sure, you know, and then make sure everybody's in their lane, and then whoever that designated leader is, I think that one of the things for that leader, and what can either sink a band, is then they need to stay out of everybody else's shit.
Exactly. Don't undermine your people that you put in charge.
You put that person in that role for a reason. Trust them to do their thing.
Exactly.
Just like
even when they fail.
Just like a business, right? If you're going to hire somebody for a specific role, but then you're going to micromanage that person all the time, then why the fuck did you hire them?
Exactly. And then so it comes down to, okay, well, how much failure is acceptable? I don't know. But you better know, if you're the leader and you're deciding this, you better have a fail rate. Like, what is this person's batting average expected to be? And I don't care if you're in IT, if you're a mechanic, if you fucking run the sales department. How many fails is a normal fail rate? You better have that fucking number in mind. Is it 50%? You know, is it, or in sales you call it a close rate, right? So it's like, you measure the successes, not the fails. But in training, I don't know. That in there has to be a number. So is it 75% of the time? How many times are you going to let this guy fail before you start going, hey, man, I don't think you're the right person for that job? Because some people, they'll only let you fuck up once or twice. Knee-jerk reaction, you're out of there, and you're like, dude, I got like 8 consecutive wins. Yeah, I fucked up twice in a row, but that's 80%, dude.
Yeah.
This is an industry where 40 to 50% success rate is fucking awesome. And you're griping on me about 2 losses? Yeah, I understand they happened in a row, and they might have been 2 big losses, but I'm still clipping 80% wins. Like, if I keep doing this over and over and over again, those 2 losses become less and less significant as the number of wins stack up. You're only freaking out because this happened just now. So that's what you're talking about, is that immediate undermining or micromanaging.
It could be that. It could be
micromanaging is like a proactive version of that, but yeah.
But just being
you're right.
a reactionary leader. Chaotic leader, you can call it that too, emotional leader, any of those things.
Well, you bring up, so it's like you talk about fail rate, and the one thing I always thought about was like, you say win, but like what is an actual win in like the growth, right? That's the way I always try to look at it, especially with the music stuff. It was like playing the rock all the time. Sure, you had consistent numbers, but the numbers never got bigger.
Right.
There was never any growth. So sure, you could consider it a win.
Right.
But was it really a win?
Great point. Yeah.
Because at some point, somebody would look at it as that, well, that's a failure.
Right. You're not. Exactly. If you're playing enough, this is actually part of that exact conversation, because there's a few bands in town that are drawing, okay, but they've not grown that draw in 2 years of playing out. So I'm no longer going, yeah, they're doing the right things. I'm going, no, they're stagnant. They're doing what you and I have talked about on this podcast relentlessly, which is you take the same 4 bands that draw the same 200 people, and you keep booking the same bill over and over and over again, and you're only drawing 200 people a year or 2 later. That's a huge fucking problem. That's what Joe Spanbauer did so well. That's what Bill Berry did so well. That's what Shannon Brettel did so well. She would find this band that draws 100 people, that band 100, this band 100. Now we got 400 people, and every single one of you got to play to at least 20 to 50 people that would normally have never seen your band. Even if the majority of everybody else's crowd left, there's still going to be stragglers, and you're still going to get exposure. And that's why we all... Not necessarily you guys. I think you guys, we talked about this before the podcast, the Revelence guys. I think you guys did your own thing organically, but the rest of us, that's how we built our crowd, was playing in front of your crowd. Playing in front of a crowd we normally would never get in front of. And then we luckily would get to siphon off a few fans.
Yeah, but it was even like Jeremy and Kyle, their grind. Like,
that was different.
Was like
everybody else kind of rode the wave.
People every time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you
truly grew. You truly grew your audience.
Because I remember, God, what like was it like? I think we played Lacrosse twice with To Bleed For.
Yeah,
and like the first time was like a good turnout, but then the next time it was bigger.
Keep going. I got to
like
piss
crazy, right? Yeah. So. That's where I always looked at it too, and I think that's eventually where I just started to get burned out at the end, where it was like. I just wasn't seeing what I wanted to see, and I needed to figure shit out.
Yeah.
It was like, man, I'm like not making money, all this. Where it was just like, all right, I think this is just time where I need to stop. Yeah,
I think that was the right time probably for you and for the band, to go our separate ways.
Right.
At that time, like, we had directions we wanted to go, you had directions that you wanted to go.
Right.
Like, yeah. And so it was like I was like relatively amicable. I mean, there was no like nobody was like, "What the fuck?" There wasn't anything.
Well,
like
I was
that.
a little bit towards Jared.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, there was some of that. In fact, yeah. but besides that,
I mean, not like harsh it wasn't bad because I remember when I came and like filled in for myself.
Yeah,
it was like those 3 shows. Like I got it. Not being in a band with Jared, I got along with Jared way better, which was great.
Yeah.
And then his downfall, but it was I think it was just like eventually I just started hitting burnout too, where it was just like, all right, man, like stop. Because I remember it was like one day I was in a band, next day I was like enrolled in college.
Yeah.
Like it was legitimately the next day.
Yeah, it was just different. Well, I think, and also like different. I think at that time, we wanted to. The goal was to go do it touring nationally. Like
Right.
that was the goal to get to, and I don't know that was necessarily what your aspirations were, anyways.
I wanted
that
to
time.
write.
Yeah,
Because the interesting thing is, what I did notice, and I even remember it with Fallacy, but it was Fallacy, at the end of Fallacy, the end of Revelence,
Great
and
band
at the
name.
end of Dying Euphoria,
Terrible band name.
I feel like we were hitting like different strides. Like, what was it? Taste the Amber Rose, and then whatever that like, it was just so different a music that I was like, yes, but, you know, I was like, I wanted to keep writing and try to get something. And it just seemed like there was just different paths everybody wanted to take too. So
Yeah.
I was like, all right, like,
it was definitely. I would say definitely like on my end, like probably.
Jason, will you grab me another beer? I'm sorry, I forgot to grab one when I was
I
like.
think it's kind of maybe my.
Jeremy, you want one more?
Yeah, sure. Maybe it's like my approach because like with Revelance, it's like I'm not really a. We're gonna sit down and write the new album guy, right? I'm more like we're gonna keep moving forward, and hey, I've got a new song. Let's work on it.
So that formula is perfect for now.
And then keep going. And now I got another song, right? And then we workshop them live.
Especially if you can pump them out every 45 days. Jesus Christ, Jeremy, Dying Euphoria would have been so. If we could have gotten in every time you did that, hey, I got a new riff. Cool, let's turn it into a song. We'll shop it live. Okay, it's working. We
Yeah.
think it's cool. Every 45 days, you drop a new single online, and then we figure out some version of a video, what lyric video, rehearsal video, behind-the-scenes video, live concept video, what it doesn't matter. Dude, that would have been gold now.
Well, and that
that
was
would have been gold.
And we just didn't get with you with Revelance because then ended, and then obviously with DE, you know, went our separate ways. But it's like, and then once you've got enough for an album, and
Drop the
you've
album.
and you've workshopped it live, and you know, like this, yep, we're ready. Then let's record the album, right? So like that's kind of my process, but that's not really the normal process, right? The normal process, I think, is more what you wanted, which is like we're not booking
songs.
shows for this period of time. We're gonna write. We're gonna make an album. We're gonna record the
I
album.
think you could always book shows, but for me, it was like, because the last two songs, I mean, we wrote in like not a lot of time.
Well, that's because I wrote. Well, one of them I wrote at work.
I remember that. I remember you coming home, or not coming home, but I remember you coming to the space and you were like, I have a song, and you wrote it on the board. And I was like, this motherfucker. I remember looking at you and looking at the board, because this was the first time you did it. And I remember thinking, literally, I said, one of two things is happening right now. Either this motherfucker is making this up, right? Right? Or now I would be like, or he's autistic. Because back then I was like, this motherfucker might be a genius, because I had never seen anybody do this before. You would write riffs in your head at work, then come home, I keep saying come home, come to the rehearsal space, write them on the board rhythmically, and sometimes even tab it out,
Yeah.
and then play it, and it would be dope as fuck. And I was like, all right, like I said, like, he's either full of shit and he wrote this the other night and like practiced it so he could do it on the board, or he's autistic. Well, I didn't say autistic
Because
back
that
then,
wasn't a
but-
thing, baby.
Yeah, right. It was. I mean, it was, but it wasn't.
yeah.
We just thought they were strong. We just thought they were strong and they could count fast. We didn't know they did all kinds of superpowers, dude. Like the tism hadn't been spectrumed yet.
Oh my god,
Autism.
I don't know if I've made you laugh that hard in a long time, bro.
dude.
You're autistic as fuck, dog.
You know, it's popular.
You're not.
It's
At all.
popular for
At all.
everyone
At
is self-diagnosed, but like
I
I
know.
wouldn't be
all. No,
surprised.
you make way too much eye contact and you smile horrendously often.
I know, dude.
You're
It's so
definitely
bad.
you're not autistic.
No, I think I'm just weird.
You're just cool and good at stuff. You fucking douche.
That's always like the Shane Gillis skit where he's like, look at me. It nicked me.
Oh yeah.
I dodged it, but it nicked
It
me.
runs in my family. It nicked me a little.
He's my favorite comedian right now. He's not my GOAT. Chappelle's still always going to be my GOAT. I think Dave Chappelle's the funniest, smartest comedian of my lifetime and possibly of all time. But Shane Gillis is my current, right now, absolute favorite. Bro, fucking.
I love
are
his
you,
delivery.
Are you above 30? Are you starting to watch World War II documentaries? Yeah. It's coming, bro. You're going to be a Republican soon.
You have an early onset Republican.
It's coming, bro. It's coming.
So I got really into Matt Rife.
Have you
He's
started
good, too.
smoking meat? It's coming, bro. You're almost there.
No, I see some of those. A lot of them are clips, but yeah, I was saying it's like Matt Rife's really good.
The smart.
His crowd work is phenomenal.
Here's what I've noticed. The best comedians are what I now say 1,000 years ago they would have literally been philosophers. Because comedy and being funny wasn't really a thing, but the way they think about something, the mindset, right, the DNA it takes to sit down and think about a thing and then think about it in a completely different way that no one's ever thought of, and then be able to deliver that to people into a way that they go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Comedians just happen to throw a punchline in there and get you to laugh, but it's the exact same thing that a philosopher does. And I think the best comedians are super, super intelligent. I think all of them are probably 130, 140 IQ guys because they are thinking about things. And I consider myself to be a pretty fucking smart guy. And every time I hear a good comedian, I'm like, God damn, I never thought about it that way. Or I'll be like, man, I've thought about it that way, but man, I never fucking made it funny. Fuck, that's hilarious. Jesus. It's one of the, maybe the most impressive art forms in the world.
Well, I think when you're given the liberty like a Chappelle, like he doesn't miss.
Now, he had to have missed when he was young, right?
I mean, kind of. I mean, he was that terrible comedian, the Nutty Professor, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was.
He had that
with the hat.
stupid fucking hat.
Yeah. Reggie.
But now, like he's like after Chappelle's show and taking his time off, he crafts the work so well that
He's
when he
even
drops
more of
it,
a philosopher
it's just,
than anybody else.
Oh yeah,
But everything is.
He'll
a
talk for
banger.
5 minutes without making you laugh, and then I'll start crying.
yeah.
He's
Got
so
a
fucking
whole,
funny, he'll
He's got
make
a
me
whole
cry.
different. He's got his own thing going on.
Yeah,
Big
he's
time.
evolved a little bit past
Right.
regular comedy.
Yeah.
But I think there's like you have that, and then like somebody like an Adam Sandler who was like just top tier, and now he's just kind of riding the coattails almost. Like I've seen clips of like Happy Gilmore too, and
It was
just
actually
didn't look.
It was
doesn't-
fun.
It's
but
actually surprisingly good for a 20-year-old sequel.
Yeah.
It was actually probably the best one of them that I've ever seen. Where dude, I don't think I'm spoiling anything, but when Shooter throws that fucking tea in the dude's face, dude, and he goes, "Do you like it?" Dude, and then that smile, dude. I haven't laughed that hard since I've been like 14, dude. I was in bed just laying down watching it in the morning, dude, and I laughed so fucking hard. I rewound it, played it again, still laughed just as hard, so I knew it wasn't just caught me off guard funny. Dude, no, the fucking do you like it? And he fucking answered, and then dude, that facial expression, then the way he runs out of the room, dude. Oh my god,
it's dumb fun for sure.
Yeah, but I think
they do a really good job.
saying,
They do
yeah.
a really good job of paying homage to the first one, unlike most of these 20-year-old sequels where they try to move on and do something else and it sucks. He just basically was like, it's a proper 20-year-old sequel. If you're ever gonna do this thing, that's probably the only way to pull it off. Like there's inside jokes from the first one. There's repeat things. There's siblings. There's like it makes sense.
No,
He
for
did it
sure.
right.
I'm just saying in regards like his original, like his comedy and the albums, and then all of the first movies he had, he was just like on top of it. And then now it's just kind of been like, hey, I'm Adam Sandler, and they're not terrible, but they're not what
They're not
they
nearly
were.
as funny. But,
Well,
but Uncut Gems was great.
Oh, dude, that movie.
Yeah, but
that
that's like a
fucking
whole
space
different
movie.
form of movie.
Yeah,
Did you watch that space movie he did?
I haven't watched it yet.
It was
want to.
actually
So-
spooky good.
I
Like,
want to
Fucking
watch it.
weird spider.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
super weird. It's super fucking.
I like when
it's
he
super
does.
heady. It's
I like when he
super
does
heady.
like those kind of roles.
I liked it, dude.
And
I thought it was good.
Honestly, like this is super dorky of me, but I actually like Adam Sandler's like newer stuff, kind of his more like Family Man type stuff, because I like to be able to just
Like
put
Grown Ups?
Yeah, I like to
That was
occasionally.
actually pretty funny, and
I
so
like
was
to-
Grown Ups too.
I like to occasionally be able to put on a movie and like, I don't know, just feel
Like an
good.
innocence.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
an innocent.
Yeah, it's like a-
innocent, fun humor
Yeah, like sometimes because I usually like more like
know
the Always
exactly.
Sunny. I like more of the like whatever. Crass
I know
shit.
exactly what you're
But
talking
man,
about.
it feels like I don't know, like a warm hug. dude.
Yeah,
like, you just-
like all the colors are like brightly lit.
Yeah.
Like there's no dark evil moments. Like even when something scary happens, it's like an innocent child's. It's just like this
So
is.
that's what I like. That's what I do like about it. I don't like them as I like them differently. I think than like
No, I hear you. I
Bro,
think it's
when
like
we
what
were in Dying
shows
Euphoria
though.
together, and that happened to me. Remember when I was fucking living at the space for a little bit? And I used to talk about that.
Yeah.
And then I started doing the fucking Lion King Elton John song for Soundcheck. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why, dude, because like I got into all this crazy shit. I was downloading shit. I'd go to somebody's house, fucking jump on the internet, fucking download a bunch of crazy shit. But then, sometimes I would just be like, I just want to watch something innocent and fun.
Yeah.
Back then, it was a Disney or a Pixar movie.
Yeah.
Because this kind of shit wasn't really a thing, or maybe it would be like fucking, fucking Vacation or, like one of those, or even Old School, just a silly, like,
there's just
warm-hearted.
something about
Well, you're
I don't know.
having to like emotionally invest. Like that's where for me it was always like TV shows or a movie. Yeah, like the fallback failsafe is like a comedy.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. Oh God, it's like a drama or like I got to go watch Breaking Bad and like get fully invested in these characters and there's all this stuff going on that you can kind of just hang back and decompress. Because like. Dude, if I'm sitting there staring at my computer writing code all day, the last thing I want to do is get done and have to be like, let's fucking overprocess the brain some more, man. Let's stimulate.
Let's get into the most anxiety-ridden show more, and then try to go to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, there's TV shows like that too where
I gotta piss.
one of them oddly enough, there's this show called The Rookie. This dude who's like he was that guy in Castle. I don't know if you ever seen that stupid show. It's a dumb show.
I think I know what
It
you're
was on
talking
like
about.
TNT or something like that. I recognize him. Never watched Castle. I think maybe I've seen 1 or 2 episodes when my wife was watching it while I was in passing. Anyways, this show, it's the same guy, but he's a 40-year-old cop or a 40-year-old guy who decides to become a cop. So he's
that's in like a blue suit.
well, he's a cop, so he's often wearing blue, but he's not in a blue suit. I mean, there's a tie especially at the beginning when they're rookies. But it's a surprisingly good show, but it's kind of one of those like classic kind of cheesy CBS or NBC shows.
Is it John
like,
Nolan? Is that the show?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I know what
yeah.
you're talking about now. Okay,
It's
I was thinking about a different one.
solid. Like, and it's one of those like kind of what you were talking about earlier. Like, it's good, but I don't have to be super emotionally invested.
Right.
The acting's just good enough. The stories are just good enough. It's like. And we just kind of like have that as our fallback. We want to watch a movie? Yeah, cool. Nothing to watch? Let's throw on The Rookie. I can fall asleep to it, but it's also still like sometimes if I'm not feeling well, a little hungover, I'm just going to sit here and watch this for 2.5 hours.
OG Top Gear is mine. I
You
turn on Top
Yep,
Gear.
that's
OG.
one for a lot of people, bro. Yeah.
You can just sit and sink into it.
That's
is
where
so
I miss
good.
VH1. Behind the music.
Yeah.
The old MTV.
God, that's like super old school.
But wasn't that good though?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it went all downhill when MTV was no longer music. Holy shit.
That's why I said VH1.
Yeah.
Because VH1 is the one that did Behind the Music. But think about it, man. You're young, 16, because we're kind of the same age. You're a couple years older than me, but you're 15, 16, 17 years old, sitting in your bedroom, high school, practicing drums, practicing guitar, and Behind the Music, and your favorite band comes on.
Mm-hmm.
Name it. Metallica, Megadeth, Creed, fucking whoever it may have been at the time, right? Everybody was getting a Behind the Music. And it was so inspiring to watch these bands because it was so relatable. Like the way they told a Behind the Music story was so, you're like, that's me. I'm that guy. Do you remember this?
Oh God, I used to love watching.
Dude, it's the most inspiring music thing outside of the music, right? It was Behind the Music,
Dude.
right? It was in the name. It wasn't the music.
Well, I used to watch that
It was like-
Metallica episode fucking constantly.
Think about it though. Back
Dude,
then,
the fucking Megadeth one. Dude, when Dave Mustaine quotes Gar Samuelson, that's his name, right? Mm-hmm. And he goes, "You want to be great? You got to do heroin." And it was like, oh my God, that you can see like during the story, that's the moment where Dave Mustaine went really down. He was already a bad drunk, and then he started doing heroin, bro. Like, I don't know, man.
Well, yeah, but see, back then,
We need
though,
that kind of content
If
again.
you think, well, remember, like back then, everything was rooted in like positivity and inspiration. And
Motivation, yeah.
Because then think about it, is then when reality
a good
TV took
comeback
over,
story.
everything became drama
and
negativity.
friction. Yeah.
You mean streaming, when streaming took over.
No, even
Because
back
that was
then.
TV.
No, it
Behind
wasn't
the
even
music was TV.
Reality
TV.
TV.
Reality TV.
Reality.
I'm sorry, I
Yes,
misunderstood.
no, reality
I'm sorry, I
TV.
misunderstood.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then that every show was trying to do that. Because like one of my favorite shows, I used to always only exclusively watch Discovery because it was the only one that wasn't totally going full blown. And then I remember like the last season of Storm Chasers, they were just trying to make it poke the bear with everybody to get drama. And I was like, this is not. I want to watch tornadoes and storms. I don't want to see you guys squabble in your car over something dumb,
Dude,
like,
and how and if you're watching right now and you're into that shit, I'm talking to you. How fucked up of a person do you have to be where that's your enjoyment?
Yeah, you like the
Your
drama.
yeah, like and I get like once in a while, like it's it's cheeseburgers. Yeah, maybe you hit up fucking McDonald's once a month, right? But when every day is your life is like that's what you thrive on is watching all this chaos and all this friction.
I'm going to give
and
you an
drama.
out, though. I'm going to give you an out on this. If you don't realize that's you until you're hearing this said to you right now, you get a pass. Now you're aware. Get the fuck out. However, if you're aware of the fact that you're the person he just talked about, and you're like, yeah, you're a horrible person, and in the zombie apocalypse, you'll be the first to go. Just so you know, like,
Yeah, but I think everybody-
people like me are gonna suss you out real fucking fast, and I'm putting a bullet to your fucking head. There will be no trial. I will realize you're the person who gets off on drama and suffering, and you're gone.
Yeah, but and I want to be clear. I'm not talking like obviously.
I'm
I'm not
murder-
talking to you.
I will murder you in the zombie apocalypse.
Obviously, we all watch that shit sometime. I'm talking about though, where like
Do you
that
get off
is
on
your
it?
thing.
Yeah, do you get off
like
on
that?
it?
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
Jared
that's
commenting on Reddit's.
I don't comment on Reddit because I know I'll get eaten alive on there. Those people don't have enough time.
But that's
they have too much free time. That's what I'm trying to say. They do not fuck around on Reddit. They
But
will
it was
eat
like
you alive.
at first it was like okay, there's little bits, how that's kind of funny and enjoyable. But when it was like everything under the sun, it was like you would happen in like the behind the musics or these really cool things that like made me be like, God, I want to go do this thing. It was like, no, this makes me want to go yell at somebody,
just
beat drama, What could I be
monetizing
pissed
drama.
off? Yeah,
It's just like I don't know. And like I said, it's fun once in a while. Cheeseburger, but like if you're eating McDonald's every day, unless you're Natanic, you can eat cheeseburgers every day from McDonald's. But other than that, like you know what I'm saying? It's like
Shout out to Nate.
It's like what are you consuming most consistently, right? And if that's what you're consuming most consistently, I'm not surprised that you're posting about how your ex was a narcissist for the 700th relationship this year, right? I'm not surprised that you're a difficult person to be around and that your life is kind of in disarray.
well, like that's like the whole reason of getting off social media for me. Like I'm a parrot, man. Like seriously, I mimic. Like I get around people. If I get around negative people, like my aura becomes negative.
Yeah.
So like I've learned that throughout time where I was like, okay, no, I need to do positive things. I always be moving forward. It might not be the right path forward, but I'm moving forward and I pivot.
Yeah.
But like acknowledging and seeing something and being like, okay, no, I don't get that out of my life. Like,
Yeah.
change that.
Right.
Because
that's what
it's
you
always going to
have
happen.
do.
Nobody's perfect.
That's what you have to
but
do.
like acknowledge who you want to be and how you want to be and what's your path forward.
And what actions are you like? It's something I do in coaching. Actually, it's called it's a kind of a manufacturing thing. KPI, KAI. So key performance indicator, key activity indicator. So key performance indicator would indicate like this would indicate that you're doing what you want to do, right? And then the KAIs are the actions you need to do to get to that. So recognize.
No shit. Okay, that's pretty
so
cool.
KPI, this is where I want to be, and then you work backwards.
Now
right?
it's pretty easy to do in business when you're quantifying sales or hitting deadlines. How do you do that with your personality or your social life or as a father or as a friend?
Yeah.
I think it's just setting
You gotta
yourself a goal.
Well, I'm just saying you got to figure out how to quantify that yourself, right? Take that strategy
and
of
you
what
may
you're
not,
saying.
I mean, you could even do qualitative. I mean, you could do qualitative instead of quantitative data. So it could just be, it could just be kind of yes, no. Like this was a good day, this was a bad day, right? Like those kinds of things, right? But ultimately, it's just understanding like this is, it's not rocket scientist, but it's something we just don't do. Is like this is what good looks like. This is where I want to be. These are the actions it takes to get there. What actions am I taking? those
Sure.
actions
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
align
I
with
like
that.
it, yeah.
So no wonder why I'm not here. You know,
Right.
I want to have 12% body fat, but I'm eating McDonald's every day.
Sure.
Right? Like,
right.
we got a problem.
So it's not even just the cheeseburgers in this metaphor. You've gone off the rails to McDonald's cheeseburgers.
That's right.
Because if you're making them at home with fucking 93.7 meat,
Oh, dude.
you might be okay. You know?
I make them.
Especially if you're like really conscious and you're like, I only eat half. I only use one bun. Seriously, like you could mitigate all that shit.
Or
but
even
if
a
you're-
regular. Yeah, I'm talking about like.
so you could still quantify it the more I'm thinking about it, because you
Yeah.
could get real specific about the actions.
Yeah.
Like, here's what I'm doing to prevent me from getting.
to where, yeah,
Right.
and like
so, I see.
like
I
what
see
you were
it.
talking
Okay.
about. It's like, so
I'm
going,
following you.
going on social media, right, gives you this feeling, which is different than who you want to be, and so
Right.
you need to remove social. Like, so for me, a big part of why I deleted the app. So a fault of mine, and it's come through in this podcast tonight, is I have a tendency to get judgmental. I don't like.
Oh, knock it off.
I don't like that about
Sometimes being
myself.
judgmental is very, very good.
I don't like that about myself, and I found that
You mean it in a negative way, though, being judgmental. You're not talking in like the positive.
You,
of,
I mean,
like,
you have to come to conclusions for things, but I'm talking about like just getting judgy, right? And then
in a condescending way, like you're looking down.
that
Because
combined.
if something doesn't align with your morals or principles, you shouldn't feel bad about judging that and being like, "That's disgusting. I don't want that in my life."
Yeah. I guess to take it one step further would be the judgmental part combined with then allowing my judgment of that to now consume my mental energy and what I'm doing, right? It's like, who gives a fuck that this person is doing something that I think is stupid, right? Like, how about I don't need to even pay attention to that.
Until
Right.
this is what I'm saying though. Until it starts getting something that deeply fucks with your principles. So for example, if you know your neighbor is beating the shit out of his wife,
Yeah,
you're not just going to be able to be like, why does that bother me? Well, because it doesn't fucking align with your principles, dude. It's not ethically right.
Yeah, I mean,
and
that's
you
a little.
feel like you could do something about it. So like,
Yeah.
you call the cops. Well, the cops didn't do anything about it. You're not just going to be like, well, I did my thing. I guess I'm going to go to bed and watch her get the shit kicked out of her for
Yeah.
the next 6 months. It's going to bother you, right?
Yeah.
So like, but you're talking about like, when you say being judgmental, you're talking about like the surface level, like fucking weird shit that really.
Well, here, this would be an example. I mean, I won't give it a specific, I guess, but it would be the something of like
Everybody knows when I'm beating around the bush.
like a consistent thing that you'll see on social media that is like it'll be people bitching about the same things in their life every single day and taking zero action to do anything about it, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, so then I start to judge that person, right? And then I don't like what that turns me into, right? And so I've just found that like if I'm not on social media, I'm not seeing that. And therefore now I'm not now being needlessly judged. You know, you get what I'm saying? Like being needless.
Yes.
So for me, it's like removing that.
Right.
Removing that. It's like, so that was kind of a big thing with that is like recognize that's something I don't like about myself. I don't want to judge other people in that way. Yeah, if the neighbor's beating his wife, you're gonna,
And you might not sit well. Like even if you can't do anything, you're not just gonna move on. That's gonna bother.
No,
you
you're
that
gonna,
night
yeah,
and
you're
shit,
gonna
like-
take like that's that's a different scenario, but just general judgments. I don't know. It's just something I've never liked about myself. And the thing is, I don't even think it's not even that I'm bad. It's not like I judge people all the time. It's just that I don't like how I feel when I do it.
When that does.
When it
happen.
does happen, and I notice that when I'm on social media less, it happens less. Another thing I notice is if I'm active on social media a lot, especially posting a lot, it frames the way I experience life. I experience life in a post mindset, like. What would I say about this? What's my post? I'm going to post about that.
I've never thought about that.
It's a weird. So instead of just like having an experience and that's the experience and you move on, it's like then you think about and you experience everything in terms of what you're going to say about it. And when I remove that opportunity, then I'm not thinking in those terms anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head, but I don't know.
It oddly does make sense. I don't know if it made sense to the listeners, but
I'm not doing a great job of articulating it. But
It definitely is making sense to me, though. Because, if you're constantly, which is basically a reactionary mindset.
Yeah, it creates I'll just be driving and then I'll think of, it'll just be some thought that maybe it's kind of aligned with my coaching and stuff that I do, but it's a little more extreme because
Sure,
and then it's like, So then I'm thinking about that, and I can tell the way I'm thinking about it is in terms of like a social media post. And then I'll stop. I'm like, why are you even thinking about that? You know, like, stop. And then I just move on to the next thing. But if I'm active on social media, then it's like, oh man, when I get home, I'm going to fucking make that post. You know, like, it's like, who gives a fuck? You know?
I like this conversation because it's making me think introspectively about how many versions of this I do, which is egregious. Like, it's a lot. It's not just a couple. Like, it's fucking bad, dude. So
We start doing
this
it.
is giving me a lot to think about, dude. My own just personal way I'm conducting my shit, dude.
I remember back
This is a good
MySpace,
conversation.
right?
May
MySpace.
not be the greatest podcast
Nobody
of all
was
time, but it's a very good conversation.
Nobody was ever worried about crafting the perfect post or the message.
You know
just
why?
put stuff.
We weren't doing this.
I know.
Like,
I was going to say, no, it's...
So it's just kind of off the cuff, and people would say that, and boom. And then as time got on, and more, I think a lot of people, the reactions were, and a lot of the things too. For me, what always was dumb that I hated was, like, okay, I'm on Facebook. This is cool. Like, I want to have 4 friends, but now you're obligated to have their girlfriends, but then their
I don't
family
add
members
wives. I
and
don't add
their
wives.
friends, right? So then it snowballs because now you feel like obligated.
Do you know how fucking weird it is when somebody adds your wife on social media? You know
Not
what I
really.
mean?
It's 2025.
No,
It's
no,
weird
no,
when
no,
you
no, no.
subscribe to her OnlyFans.
No, because here's the thing.
You subscribe to my mom's OnlyFans?
No, because here's the
Your
thing.
mom's hot.
It does have to come down to respectable boundaries and what a friendship should be.
Yeah.
And here's the thing is, like, I barely know you. Not literally you, Jason, but like you, proverbial drummer in some band. You came on my podcast. We're kind of buddies, you know? Like, it's honestly sitting down with somebody like this for 3 hours, I build better friendships than I possibly could playing 7 shows with you.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah.
What are we doing at a show? Loading gear and yelling at each other while music plays in the background?
Yeah.
You know, like,
you're
what are
doing
we
everything other than having a conversation.
right?
Well, you're also in that mindset of like you're out marketing yourself, kind of in a sense.
Well, and there's
too,
also an
you know?
energy exchange
Yeah.
here where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this is a really chill, low key, low end. Okay, let me chill the fuck out, dude. I don't want to bully this person with my energy. But at a venue, when I'm just trying to talk to this guy over loud music, now I'm going, hey, motherfucker, you had a fucking great set. And he's like, oh, yeah, man, thanks, dude. And I'm like, I can't fucking hear what you're saying, but you guys are fucking dope. I fucking love your band. You know, it's like, dude, I'm fucking way too much for this guy. But when I got him here, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, now we can have I'll lower my voice. We'll turn up the gain on the microphones. You know, like, we can just chill and hang out. You know what I mean? Like, totally different vibe. But at the same time, it's like, no, I'm not going to fucking accept your wife's friend request because you came on my podcast and we played 2 shows together. Like, I think this is highly inappropriate. These are my principles. These are my boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not friends with your wife. I'm not friends with your friends' friends. You know, so when I get 15 fucking friend requests from people I've never seen before in my life, I look at all their profile pictures. I'm like, no, I'm not fucking accepting any of these people.
Well, see, back
Like,
then I always felt obligated.
If you want to follow,
know.
if you want to follow me in my podcast, follow the fucking Jared Singer live thing. That's the professional thing. Like, my personal page is for like my friends and family members. Like, I say some crazy shit on Facebook, dude. Like, no, you can't just randomly be my friend. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, dude?
Just friend
Half the time-
unfriend you
dude,
immediately.
and I've
Like,
said-
holy shit.
I've said this for years. 51% of what I say out loud on Facebook should not be taken seriously at surface level. It's fucking superficial. Like, half the time I'm being hyperbolic or exaggerating my own take on something.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason I fucking call everybody retards. I don't actually think you're all retarded. Jesus Christ. Like, who calls a retarded person retarded? You know what I mean? Like, no, you're all smart people. You're just being retarded right now. What are we talking about? Fuck, man.
It's an interesting thing. Like, I remember, like,
You're all supposed to
when-
be my friends and get my insanely condescending humor. It's very dry. It's very... I know. I get it, dude. You're supposed to get the bit. Fuck, man.
You almost need like a time limit with Jared before you can like become his social media friend.
Yes.
You need face-to-face time with
Yes.
him to understand.
Yes.
Like, do you really want to open
Are you
that can
sure
of
you want to
worms?
do this?
It's like logging out of a site. Are you sure?
You've told me this so many times, more articulately and better than anybody else. you say, Jared, when you have certain arguments and make them in person on your fucking live streams, even when I'm doing my one-on-one things or face-to-face on a podcast, you're so much more like, it makes sense when you do things in writing on Facebook.
Well, that's why
it's just bad, dude.
I said
like,
maybe from now. I was like, maybe from now, like when you're making a point like that, why not just do a video instead of text?
I haven't figured out how yet because I'm not on TikTok, which is how you do it on TikTok. You like take each comment and make a new video on it and like dunk on people. No other social media setup like that, and I'm not on TikTok.
That's not what I meant.
But I did.
I just meant instead of a rant, do a video where people can pick up the nuance.
No,
and you can articulate it better.
I know what you mean. I just haven't figured out how to do it properly because I don't, dude, I lack patience. My biggest weakness is I lack patience. And once I lose my patience, bro, I got to work on. That's my biggest flaw. And when I'm online, it's exacerbated by fucking 100-fold. I just sound.
It comes down, it's that impulse regulation, right? Yeah. Operating in the id.
See, the way I go about it is if I ever want to feel really good about myself, I go to the YouTube comment section.
Oh, my God.
I'm just like, God, I'm not you.
Oh, my God.
That's where I laugh the hardest.
my thing, that's kind of, I've gone the opposite where I'm like, I always remind myself if I'm on YouTube or whatever it is, I'm always like, don't read the comments. Don't read the comments because you're enjoying what you're seeing right now. And if you read the comments.
Check this out. So the rage baiting thing of the algorithm where it feeds you videos of things you will react to, usually what gets you to react to something that pisses you off.
Yeah.
However, the comments, if I send you a video and you click the comment section and I click the comment section, they will be two different ones that pop up at the top. They will curate the comments that you are most likely to spend time reading. So for me, it's always hilarious. Every time I hit the comment section, it's fucking gold, dude. If you're hitting the comment section and it makes you feel bad, dude, it's because you spent too much time reading negative shit in those comments, dude.
See, I'm going to call bullshit on that because that's not what I do.
Or liking the wrong comments. The algorithm's got you fucked up is what I'm saying because the algorithm's got me pinned. It knows exactly what to get me to do to spend time reading comments and staying on, and it's always the absolute comedy gold of the internet, dude.
Because you're like, well, for one, I don't react to comments at all.
Jason, can I get another beer from you, buddy?
I'll snag one too, maybe.
Nice. They're so light, dude. You can just pound them, dude. I'll drink 12 of these and drive home.
Well, I'll react.
Questionably drive home.
I'll react to positive comments, but I don't react to any of the negative. And usually what'll happen is like if I happen to open the comments, as soon as I see one of those like unhinged fucking like I just close out the comments. So you would think the algorithm would be like, oh, that's not his jam.
Interesting,
But instead the algorithm's like, well,
maybe you're not doing it enough then.
That could be it because I typically, thank you, because I do a pretty good job of just not even opening the comments, but every once in a while that'll just be sort of like I don't know, unconscious that you just happen to open it, right? And then you're like, fuck, why did I do that?
No, I love it.
I'm like, God,
I'm so glad I looked at this. I feel so much
better
better about myself. God, the keyboard warriors are my favorite.
I think part of it might be what I do for a living. That could be part of it too, is because it's like, then I'm like, God, this is everything I coach against. And it just reminds me of like the 30 people I coached today that I felt like I made a difference in the world. There's 8 billion of them out there, you know. And it's like, and I can't make a difference anyway, so I shouldn't even care about it.
But a lot of time, though, nowadays, it's robots.
Yeah.
I know you guys don't watch the podcast a ton, but have you guys heard my theory on AI and what I think it's going to do for music?
No.
So I'm going to throw you my theory, and I want to hear you guys' because this is a truly original theory that still I've said it now for months on the podcast. I still have not heard a single person say this out loud. So it's still a truly original idea that no one's even ripped off yet. But I want to see what you guys think. Tell me I'm right, tell me I'm wrong, riff on it, use it as a jumping off point for your own idea, whatever, I don't care. But here's what I think. I think ironically, it will actually make rock and metal, jazz, those type of music, I think it'll make those styles, those genres, the most popular in the world again.
Say this.
Because here's what I think, right? So everybody's going to use AI to some degree, right? hey, I got a verse, I need a chorus. Hey, I have a chorus, I need a verse. Hey, I have this great song, I'm missing a bridge from this part to this part, right? Hey, I need an underlick. Hey, I need a solo. Hey, I need whatever. Doesn't matter. Somebody's going to use AI. And when I mean somebody, and when I mean when, someday, I'm talking fast forward to any time period you want, 30 years from now, 50 years from now, it's going to be inevitable. Every musician will use this in some way, shape, or form. However, pop music, EDM, all of this shit, if my autistic 11-year-old neighbor can create an absolute Drake-level banger in his fucking basement, there will be no value to that. Because I could do it. As long as I know how to say, hey, AI, make this song in this genre to sound like this. And anybody can create a banger. Music will start to lose what makes it music, right? So at some point in time, because we're already seeing with the young kids, where they're already disconnecting from the internet, right? They're already not into this shit. At some point in time, the mass majority of people, like I said, fast forward 30, 50 years, so the younger generations, they're not going to appreciate something that just sounds cool. They're going to want to see live music. So the only thing that's going to matter is, cool, you wrote this banger of a song. I could do that. Can you get on stage and play it? So it's going to almost be more important to be able to pick up the guitar or the drums or the keyboards and actually sing. Because think about it. As soon as as soon as auto-tune became a thing and anybody could hit any note, lip syncing was out the door. Remember?
Yeah.
We lived through this.
Right.
So now no one respects you if you lip sync. No one respects you if you're using live auto-tune unless it's for your sound, like a T-Pain.
Yeah.
That's literally part of his sound. He has to use it. And he can sing beautifully without it. So he's already proven it.
Yep.
I think that's what's going to happen with AI. So the only thing that will matter is, but can you get on stage and play that shit live?
What do you think will happen with...
What do you think? What do you guys think of that theory? Do you think I'm wrong?
I'm tracking with it. The only thing I wonder about, because I feel similar, the only thing I'm wondering about it is, even now, there's so many bands that you go see, even local bands, and they're playing along to tracks. And I'm not talking about we don't have a keyboardist, so we have keyboard tracks, or we don't have a bass player.
Right.
So I'm talking about we have a guitar player, and he's playing along to guitar tracks.
Yeah, like harmonized guitar tracks or something.
Or literally just... There's
He's
the
not
guitar
really
tracks, and you're playing along with it, and so I wonder, that is the
theoretically, it would be that would get sussed out like the lip syncing and the auto.
Yeah, that's
the
what I'm
Jessica
hoping.
Simpsons would get, or not Jessica Simpson, her sister
Ashley
Simpson. Those people will get sussed out.
I'm tracking with you big because of one of the. I've said something somewhat similar, which is I guess maybe I only took it one step further, which was because of the backing track thing. Is I was thinking what'll probably become more popular will be like raw punk music, acoustic, like sitting there with your fucking acoustic guitar and singing into a mic. Like, I could see that shit probably, because people be like that. You can't fake
And I also
that.
think the Dragon Forces, the like Yngwie Malmsteens, the true shredders.
Yeah,
that's why I think it'll be like, ironically, a Death Clock will be the biggest band in the world.
Yeah.
Because they'll be the best at their instruments and write something that AI just, and nobody can do. Like, these guys are, even if they used AI, they still, like a Meshuggah, right? Like, even if you use AI to write a Meshuggah style bleed riff, it doesn't matter as long as you can do that on stage. It doesn't matter how it came.
Yeah.
Show me. Do it. And do it in a way where I know you're not playing to a backing track.
Yeah.
Make it undeniable. That means you better be the fucking best.
And maybe there's gonna have to be parts that are different, like old school. Remember, like are you actually not even Metallica still does it, where that you extend a part,
right?
You go into a
or
little
you play
jam,
a different harmony,
or you do
we're playing thirds and fifths on the fucking record, but we're gonna do a fourth here.
Yeah, like
just
that.
So it's a little different.
And again, it could be the boomer in me, but like I love that shit. Like
the kids love that shit too.
I love it's weird. Like, it's
the
funny.
Kids love Led Zeppelin and Metallica
back
and
in
Van
the
Halen
day,
and Pantera. They love it, dude. They love that old music.
Back in the day, it's funny how it's flipped for me. A long time ago, before all this shit, right? So I'm talking like 90s, early 2000s. if I went and saw a band and they sounded almost identical to the album
You hated
live,
it?
no, I loved it then.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, holy fuck.
Now you hate it.
They nailed
Well,
it
you don't hate it.
because back then they weren't. They were just that good.
Right.
It wasn't. Now if I go see a band and they don't sound like the album, I'm like,
Now
fuck
you
yeah.
love it, yeah.
I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, that's cool. I'm glad that
That's
like
what we do, by the way.
I'm glad like those 4 extra guitar parts aren't here live.
That's exactly what we do in
Yeah.
our band. In the Montoya machine, I play the concepts of what's on drums, right? So if the snare's on the 2 and the 4,
yeah.
that's where my snare is. But I'm not playing exactly that part.
Yeah.
Rich is not playing exactly that bass part. Maddie is definitely not playing Dude, if you got, I'm telling you, dude, if you came out to see us live, I think you would actually be like, I think you would actually be
You're
like,
one of the bands I do want. Like, obviously I don't go to a lot of shows
and
anymore.
not to
but
patronize and kiss each other's asses as
No,
friends, be like, oh, I liked you guys. I think genuinely you'd be like, fuck, dude, I actually like the fucking Montoya machine. Knowing you and how you like powerful music, like specifically you. I wouldn't say this for every single one of my friends. You'd probably appreciate it. I don't, especially based on the conversation of like what you still listen to musically, probably wouldn't be your favorite. But you'd be like, no, you guys are good. I appreciate it. You'd probably have a couple pointers knowing you.
They got a lot of hooks.
But you, I think you would. I think you would be like, I think you would be like, I'm shocked how much I like it. I think that's what you would say.
It sounds funny because I haven't gone to a show yet, but so this sounds weird to say, but you're one of the few bands on my list of like I genuinely want to go to one of your guys' shows.
I'm glad you haven't yet because
it's
we're
just kind of one of
better.
those. It's one of those things where it's just either stars don't align to like go to the show, or honestly, like I was talking about earlier, like with my sleep issues, it's like sometimes I only got 2 hours of sleep. And it's just like. And it's not that that I don't
real.
Like I'm fine going out tired. It's not that part. It's that I always go to stuff by myself, right? When you do that, you've got to have that social.
Because you got no bitches.
You got to have that. You got to have that social battery.
Turn to $5.
$5. You got to have that social battery charged up to be able to. It's a different thing when you're going somewhere by yourself. You got to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so what it comes to me is it's like, okay, I'm super tired, whatever, that's fine, but I'm also kind of crabby. I'm not gonna have a good time. I'm not gonna be pleasant to be around.
Yeah.
Whereas if like maybe I was meeting somebody there, like when I met up with you guys, we went to that great. Like that's a little different because it's like, yeah, I'm not feeling super social, but I know I'm meeting up with 3 of my buddies there, so it's like it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have to be social butterfly trying to talk to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I totally
long-winded explanation of why you probably don't see me at a lot of local shows.
Well, and for us, I'm glad you haven't come because for every show we played so far, it's like, okay, we're getting there. But these last couple shows, it's been like, okay, we got something now. So now it's like, now is when I want everybody to come out. Because it took, dude, retired. I straight up retired. And I was never even a real drummer. I didn't even play drums as long as you did, right? I played drums for a few years in the Tyrants. And then fucking basically didn't completely quit music, but I hadn't done shit since I was basically 30 except for fill in for Dying Euphoria one show as a vocalist. So it took a lot of rehearsing by myself, and then it took a lot of rehearsing as a band, and then it took several shows before, and I've said this, and I hope people take this seriously. I'm going to say it's just a Jared thing, but I'm convinced that everybody has a version of this to some degree, which is you can only get so good rehearsing by yourself. You can only get so good with your band practicing in your basement. You'll never be perfect. If you want to really, and there's 2 more levels. You'll only get so good playing local shows. In order to really reach your maximum potential as a musician, you have to go on tour. There's 4 levels. By yourself, with your band in your garage or your basement, playing local a lot, and then going on tour. And I'm telling you, and I think everybody in this room has experienced this. When you go out of town long enough and play enough shows, when you come back home, that's the 5th step. You finally come back home. You're a better musician in every possible way. Because you got here's where it hit me as a drummer, especially Jason. I want to see if you experienced this. It was exhaustion. It forced me to play my drums lighter because I didn't have the energy. As soon as that happened, I realized I could be faster, more articulate. Then I learned how to hit my drums just as hard without expending the same amount of energy. Then I learned how to fake it and make it look like I was throwing down, even though I was expending very little energy. And my drums, all of these things I already knew are just starting to come back to me in the last 3 to 6 months, even though we've been playing shows for almost a year now. Do you guys agree, disagree? How do you guys feel about that?
I think it's overall, at the end of the day, it's like you start to do stuff and you do it long enough, like you don't want to burn yourself out.
Or
so
you can't. I couldn't. It was out of need for me.
And I think for me it was like Revelence was a big teaching point because, I mean, Jesus, like I was 10 months I was in that band, and I think we played almost every weekend.
Yeah, we played a fuckload. Yeah,
a lot. And it was like having to like figure that out because then we were still practicing during the week.
Yep.
And they were late.
Yeah.
So I was having to get up at like 5, but we wouldn't get done practice till like 1.
Ooh.
So I was like,
that's probably because somebody worked till 9. I bet.
Jeremy and Kyle had the later shifts,
and our where we practiced, we weren't even allowed to be in there until 8:30 or something.
It was like 9.
It was like a business center.
But these are those little things that people don't realize you go through just to get to a point to be good enough, just to charge money to come to the show, and then people go $25.
Yeah.
Ugh. And you don't know what we put in, motherfuckers. Y'all are disrespectful as fuck.
But no, definitely. I think just over time you just get smarter with whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I fully agree.
You get efficient with your energy, with your output.
Exactly.
Yep.
And there's just something, and honestly, I think some of it too is like there's a confidence.
You learn how to do a little bit more of a windmill instead of a straight headbang.
There's a confidence that comes with it too. Like I fully agree. Completely.
Tell me if I'm wrong on any of this shit.
No,
don't kiss my ass because it's my podcast.
The reason I was like kind of doing this fucking thing is because I was just thinking about that recently. I was trying to think about like when I was my best at guitar playing, right? And it's like once you're out touring and you're doing that, even the Weekend Warrior touring.
That's where it starts. Yep.
That's where
that's why I said on the road enough. It doesn't have to be a real tour.
I noticed my first like real jump up. I noticed was when we were doing. DE was doing like a whole bunch of Weekend Warrior stuff. That's when like Danny Z was the singer, right? Yep. It was kind of a different time.
Right after I left, because we were gearing up for all that stuff. We started doing it, but you guys kept going.
Yeah,
right after I left.
I distinctly remember like I always thought of myself as like I'm just a really good performer. Like that's my thing, right? Good performer, good songwriter. But then when we were doing that, it's like I remember bands we were playing with. Like all of a sudden, I started noticing like the guitar players from the other bands in these other towns would be like watching me, and then you know what I mean, and all of a sudden it clicked to me. I was like, holy shit, dude, like I became really fucking good. Yep. And then obviously then touring nationally, the same kind of thing. And then now if you want to swing it full circle all the way to what I do now, which is I think I don't even consider myself a guitarist anymore. I think I'm just a solo artist, right?
Sure.
And so in that case, it's like my guitar playing is like it's good enough for whatever song I'm writing at the time. It's not,
and that's a whole different animal, right? I remember that, and that's something that I've, because I also have my solo project where I play guitar, and that's a different type of rust because that's exactly what it is. My chops are just good enough to record the riff I need to record, but then all of a sudden I get a drummer coming down. We're rehearsing a few times a week. I can barely play through a fucking song, and then all of a sudden we rip through these songs no problem, but now. The next stage is, okay, well, you got to do that while exerting energy and enthusiasm and being entertaining while doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I haven't practiced. So this is what I mean by you have to become better when you don't even have to. It just naturally happens as you start playing out.
Yep.
And then it's easy to do. It's really easy to put everything you got into a performance when you only do it 4 or 5 times a year locally.
Yeah.
But when you got to do it 3-4 nights in a row or 2 weeks in a row with maybe a night or 2 off, you start having to become what you said, efficient. And I'm speaking as a drummer and as a guitar player and as a vocalist. I've experienced all 3 of these different instruments and nothing is different about them. As a vocalist, you have to start learning. So when those national bands come through town and you're like, like they didn't really we have more passion. It's like, you also didn't play 7 nights in a row.
Yeah.
Right. this is your Super Bowl, local band.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking to myself right now. I'm not condescending anybody else. I'm speaking to my younger self.
Yeah.
Yeah, local band. Yeah, of course it was easy for you. This is your Super Bowl. This is their Thursday night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, their Super Bowl was last week when they opened for Metallica.
They didn't
fuck.
They got they got 2 hours of sleep in the van. Then they went into, like this and that, like all the
and
different...
these aren't things you realize until you're walking a mile in someone else's shoes.
I will say though, but
cliches are for a reason.
This is again though that I'm an idiot. And I wasn't efficient. As I will say, when I was touring either with DE or with Blue Felix, I did still throw down every single show every night the same way that you guys remember me throwing down locally.
Yeah, but here's whether you know it or admit it or figured it out or not. You became more efficient in your movements. You learned how to headbang.
Windmailing became more prevalent than this.
Yeah.
It was like, I can just kind of...
It's just as, and we did that in Dying Euphoria.
Yeah.
Like, there was very little actual headbanging. I did the body bang. What does that say, Jason? There's something good in there?
That's Sanders, right?
Oh, that is Sanders.
If it isn't the
Being a
Three
clown.
Stooges, I see a bunch of people in here talking about their fucking astrological signs. I was like, is this our chat?
What a bunch of dorks.
I'm a Gemini.
I'm a Gemini. Oh, this has got gay. Gay! Shout out to Sanders. We love you, buddy. Miss you. We've been talking all kinds of shit about you.
No, yeah. Well, I think with music too, it's just like practice, efficiency. I mean, it's like I play enough now to still say I played drums.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were to be like, "Hey, man, do you want to do this?" It's like
it's gonna take some time.
Give me a few months.
That's where I am on guitar.
Get back on the horse. You know.
That's where I am on guitar. Like I said, I'm only as good as whatever. Like currently, I'm writing a black metal song. So my guitar play, right? Because I was like, you know what?
I'm not laughing at you as a guitar. I'm thinking of me trying to be like, yeah, I'll do drums to that. Like if you're like, Jared, you want to do the song and you send me that riff, and I'm like, dude, this is black metal, and you're like, yeah, I think you'd be really cool on it because like you don't do black metal. I'm like, yeah, for a fucking reason, dude. Like, do you know how hard that would be to pull off? Now, maybe when I was at the fucking peak, when I was in the Tyrants, because I was like doing blast beats on purpose, maybe.
Yeah.
Now
this one is a disgusting song, but like because I haven't been writing metal for forever, right? So I was like, all right,
why would you just randomly do a black metal song?
Because
dude?
This is why is because
you fucking weirdo.
Because I was like, all right, I'm feeling the itch to write metal again, but I was like, but in the spirit of everything I've been doing, I'm like, I want to write something different than I
not
normally
chunky,
write.
not rhythmic.
Yeah,
right?
not a bunch of like happy, all that stuff. So I was like, I've never written a black metal song. And so I wrote that. So currently, like, my guitar chops are, I can play black metal. I can do fast tremolo picking and all that, right?
Right.
But as soon as I'm done with this song, like, that'll go away.
Yep.
And then whatever the next, you know what I mean? It's
well, like, I don't know if it's, like, the same with guitar, but I know, like, the few times I've actually, like, sat and, like, jammed for, half hour, which is, like, not a lot. Like the next day, like my hands are blistered, with sticks. Like, dude, because I don't have the callus anymore.
Yeah,
ironically,
man.
that's never been a thing for me.
I remember I had to like get it, and it's just like
there's something I don't know what it is. That's the one thing as a drummer I skipped. The first 6 months of my career, got all the drummer blisters. Don't know what happened. No idea.
what
Subconsciously,
calluses,
No, because even when I sat down drums and jumped right back in and immediately went back, no callus, no blisters, nothing. Like something about how you hold the sticks, that's all it boils down to. If you're getting blisters, I don't know what it is. I can't give anybody advice because I don't know how the fuck I fixed it, but like that is the one thing I dodged.
You probably
the
hold
bullet
your
on.
sticks all weird now.
Maybe.
Look, I solved the blister problem.
Maybe, I don't know, but if like even still to this day, I don't have any weird fucking drummer blisters or calluses like a lot of people have. I just don't. I don't know why.
I definitely.
have no
I'm
idea.
just soft
Guitar.
now. I got
it's
soft
inevitable.
man hands.
Guitar,
It's impossible on guitar.
When I started doing like a lot of acoustic stuff recently, like my recent EP has a lot of acoustic.
You're
Like
getting them back.
it was like, chewing up my fingers. The black metal song, my fucking wrist, dude, my right wrist is just like, well, you're not jerking off like tonight or any night for the next 2 weeks.
Grab my strong hand.
And unless you want to use old old lefty, but then you're gonna have the calluses.
That's one thing I think guitar players don't get enough credit for, is even playing live, like the shoulder cramps that happen.
Oh God,
from
yeah.
like putting your arm in the exact position so you can riff like this for 45 to an hour straight.
Yeah.
You know, like fuck, especially in metal. You know, I feel like rock guitar players have a little bit looser. But metal guitar players, you really got to position your fucking your body to get into that palm
It's all
mute.
fucking tensed up. And
Yeah,
shit.
dude.
Yeah, dude.
And yeah, both shoulders, because you have the strap shoulder and then you have the other picking shoulder.
And right here, they don't talk about that either. Like your distal bicep. Right
Yeah,
in
that
there.
one, I forget about that one. Yeah,
That one, it's like
that one kicks in. Yeah,
when, especially if you're doing like real technical right hand shit, kind of like we were doing beginning of DE was a lot of real technical right hand shit, and it was like,
a lot of
this would
weird
be so
rhythmic,
fucking cramped up.
Well, like I think it's where I get older too. Is when I look at stuff. It's like,
especially if you want to be tight.
and I hated it when it was first ever brought up, but now I live by is like ergonomics.
Oh yeah.
Like
now
posture,
that we're
sitting
old
right,
and
doing
smart.
things. Like, I know, but I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, don't fucking tell me what to do.
When you're drumming,
Ergo not interested.
Your ass was basically on like a fucking pillow on the ground. Yeah. Your legs are like that. You're drumming.
Well, even now, it's like there are some days like legitimately I'm like, why did I ever fucking windmill? My neck is just
dude, this fucker cracks all this. I got one of those fucking guys. This is like, I love it, dude. We're like old men fucking boomer. I got the fucking that weird little foam thing that you put underneath your neck. I don't know if you've seen those. It's got like a little thing, and it kind of has a little bit of a sponge or whatever. So like you lay it down, you put that on your neck, and it stretches your
Send me the link, dog.
Dude, yeah, I got it on Amazon.
Send me the link.
Oh my god, dude. It's you sit down on that thing for like 15-20 minutes. Oh my god.
Send me the link.
Oh,
homie.
you wanna know like the God mode is I bought an inversion table.
Oh, I have
so
one
I'm
of
gonna
those.
sit and hang upside down in my garage.
That only helps my lower back though. I need help like with what he said in the shoulders and in the neck area now.
I'll send you the link.
So you go full inverted? Like that's where it's gnarly. Like I just hang there and just like let it just stretch. Like
I was inverted.
Yeah, but it always only helps my lower back. I need to stretch my neck.
I need one of those too, dude, because my whole
I got one upstairs.
Everything is fucking.
It's legit. It's legit.
It's weird at first.
I need to get one of those things where you like pull your neck.
That thing where you kind of
you like sit down and you fucking sit in the thing, and then Joe Rogan talks about the one he has as a ratchet, right? So you manually do each click. There's no fucking there's no like counterweight. Like you're deciding where the tension, and then you can just sit there when you find the spot.
Yeah.
You know, oh, that's what I need, dude.
So it's like that's the one thing I've always been curious with and wanted to do is try to find one of those chiropractors that'll do those ring dingers.
Is that where they yank
Yeah, they
I think those are the Asian ones.
Dude. No, it's
well, there's the
you fuck. It took me a second.
No, that's a ding ringer.
Oh, you want me to ring your ding?
What kind of massage place is this?
Jeez.
Sorry, it's on my mind because I was watching the two bears, one cave that they have now, where it's Chris Stefano and Stavi are like the summer hosts of it. And
yeah, because both assholes are on tour and they're still trying to milk their fucking podcast.
And fucking Stavi he was talking about all the hand jobs you would get at these fucking. So that's why I was on. Because dude, it is so much.
Stavi's our new Joey Diaz. In case people don't realize,
it is so much better with Chris Stefano and Stavi.
Is
dude.
it really?
Like if you,
Chris Stefano annoys me with how insecure he is about like everything's about how like anxiety ridden and weak he is, and it's like, dude, knock it off.
That can get a little. That's why I like him when he's got a counterpart.
Stavo.
Yeah, like if there's a counterpart. So like. Those two together have been funny. Anyway, sorry, dude. That's why it was on my mind with the fucking. Oh, you want a ring ding?
You want me ring ding?
What kind of massage place is this?
The best guy.
He was talking about. Oh my god, you gotta just watch it, dude. He's like, do you just ask them? He's like, no, there's signs. like they'll be massaging your inner thigh, and next thing you know, they're massaging your balls. And you're like, well, this is different.
And then I kept going back. And suddenly there was a finger in my ass.
He's like, and the thing that's crazy, like, she was like a 65-year-old Asian woman. I wasn't attracted to her at all, but she was so good with her hands that I came all over the place.
Jeez. She's so talented.
Oh, man. Boy, that went sideways real fucking fast.
What did you expect?
Finally.
What did you expect? I've been trying to take this thing off the rails for hours.
The fans are finally getting some fucking shenanigans. This podcast is starting now at a 9/11. Oh shit, 9/11.
No! Never forget. This suddenly took a real nosedive.
For whatever reason, it made me think. Have you guys ever seen like the?
It's almost like a controlled.
Have you ever
demolition.
seen like what is it like? Is it like? I think it's like Iraqi Sesame Street, or have you ever seen that shit?
Oh,
dude,
is it real?
There's like, I don't remember what
Please
country
tell
it
me
is.
Oscar the Grouch is like, oh, Akbar!
Yes.
Do the female Muppets
Pull this
have?
up. Pull
Like,
this
you can
up.
only see their eyes.
Jason, pull this up. Find this. What is it?
It's
They're not. Sorry, they're not Muppets.
Is it Islamic Sesame
something
Street?
like that. Yeah,
Search Islamic Sesame Street. I bet you that's how we'll find it.
dude, it's a thing.
Second half of the podcast is
Google
starting
it
now.
Google it so you can cross platforms.
I'm getting an Uber. Let's break out the whiskey.
Google it.
Well, because
The
if
other
we
one,
just go YouTube, we'll miss a lot of
Google
shit.
me,
dude.
bitch.
The other one, if you've
I actually
never
do have
seen
some really
it,
good whiskey, and I wouldn't mind taking a couple sips here.
is
Jeremy, grab that Pendleton.
if
on
you
the bar
if you ever want a
behind you.
good laugh, go on
Not my Pendleton.
go onto YouTube and look up the
Yeah, right there.
AI Bigfoot videos. You'd get a fucking
Dude, my
kick out of
stepdad was
those.
just telling me about that.
Dude, they're
this
so
last
good.
weekend.
Oh, the ones where so you're talking the ones where Sasquatch
He's
is
like-
an influencer?
Yeah.
He's like, yo, I got these fucking Chinese people who think it's super dope to fuck around with bears. Let's watch them get eaten alive. Yeah, pull up a video.
Yeah, it's like I remember one of them. He's like, "Oh look, I found this balloon," and he starts blowing it up. It's a rubber, and all of a sudden, boom! He's just covered in white, and he's running. He's like, "Oh, I don't think that was a balloon."
I don't feel like this is gonna be it, but
There are some like super hardcore ones.
I would say that this isn't what I was expecting. This seems pretty normal. I was honestly expecting like all the female puppets were gonna be like covered up.
yeah, I
and
was
stuff.
just gonna say like we can see these people.
And then they're teaching the children that women don't have rights.
Yeah, this is dumb.
If you-
can kill this.
If you
Jason.
have a thought of your own, just push it down.
Have you seen the video of?
Have you seen the Bigfoot?
No, it was just funny because my stepdad was just telling me about it the other day. Ooh,
Have you seen the video of the kids from Pakistan doing the rally?
No.
And this teacher like
Go to YouTube and look up AI Bigfoot.
so this teacher this is my favorite video on the internet right now. It's actually pretty old. So this teacher from the internet or from Pakistan, she's like having like a school assembly thing, and she has each kid on the fucking stage. Cheers, brother. Cheers. And
brother?
she goes,
Brother.
"Oh yeah, so tell me what you're going to do for Pakistan." And then the first kid comes up and he's like, "I'm gonna teach all kids from Pakistan how to read."
Do the
And
second
then
one
she's
with
like,
the girl,
"Oh,
the
he's
short.
gonna be a teacher. Oh yeah," and everybody applauds. Then the next kid's like, "I'm gonna become a fighter pilot, a jet pilot, and for the Air Force of Pakistan, and I'm going to bomb India." And everyone's like, "Oh, wonderful!"
Oh, I've seen that.
And then the next kid comes up and he's like, "I'm going to kill every American child. Fucking going to Pakistan. Going to Allah." And she's like, "Oh, wonderful! Such heroes of future Pakistan, dude." It's the fucking funniest thing you'll ever see in your life, dude. It's horrific, but it's also fucking hysterical, dude. It's because her lack of charisma and absolute lack of enthusiasm no matter what these kids say, she's like, oh, so beautiful, wonderful children, so what? Glory to Pakistan. Dude, it's so fucking funny.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, play one of those shorts.
Said that there was an absolute hottie nearby. Her name is Christy.
I'm gonna take her back to the tent and show her.
She
where
thought
they
she
get
chose
Big
the
and
bear.
Bigfoot from. Turns out she used to be a Christian,
Bigfoot.
and I don't mean the Jesus kind. She wanted to see whose was bigger. I lost.
My phone said.
Turns out she's a Christian.
Not the Jesus kind. What does that even mean?
Dude.
What does that even mean? AI wrote that, dude. AI is kind of funny, dude.
It's because she was a
And
guy.
not the Jesus kind.
Yeah, like what is?
Oh, and not, she was a guy.
Yeah.
That's why hers was
We wanted to see whose was bigger.
Yeah, turns out I lost.
I missed the significant. We
Yeah,
were
play
talking
another
about
one.
the other thing.
Yeah, play another one. We talked over that one. Play
They're
one
so
more.
fucking
Play
good.
one more, dude. That's goddamn gold, dude. There's no way AI wrote that, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be good.
Go to the mushroom one right next
Rate
to
yourself
it.
on a scale from 1 to
This
10.
is perfect.
I'm a 10.
I didn't ask how many donuts you knocked down this morning, Big Mac. Rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10.
I'm a 10.
Oh my god. Go to that mushroom one he said.
Just do the first one, the best moments. Yeah, here you go.
All right, so I think the locals left this thing called an energy drink. Let's take a sip.
I'm gonna crash out.
Boys, I'm cooked. I'm out of Zins, and I'm about to crash hard. If I don't make it, give this trout to Fred. He needs it. All right, guys. Today we're chain smoking cigarettes and eating some good grub out here in Redwood National Park. Let's get weird. Bro, this thing is massive. We eating good tonight. All right, chat kept blowing me up. So here's the full low taper fade tutorial, and let's lock in on this cut. Here's the setup, and it's janky, but
That doesn't even make
All right,
any
so I think
sense.
the locals left this thing
Dude,
called an
I'm
energy
telling you,
drink.
these
Let's
are
take a
AI generated. There's no way a human wrote that, dude. Here's the low
No,
taper
they
cut.
are. Yeah, there you go, the mushroom one.
Oh, do the mushroom one. Do the mushroom one.
I found a nice patch of these guys and some chanterelles over there too. I found a nice patch of these
Oh,
guys.
there's one.
That doesn't even
Chanterelles
make
over there,
any
too.
sense.
There's one where he's like sitting with a raccoon.
One nice thing about this is this will make influencers obsolete.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, this shit, like,
Again, all the fake ones.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm saying. When AI can create your content as good as you can, because everything you're doing is fake, the only thing, this is what I'm hoping. Do you remember at the beginning of, like, music streaming, like, all the shitty pop music immediately died? And, like, there was a period of time where, like, you had to, like, actually make good music and kind of blow up on the internet. Well, that's now been perverted, right?
Yeah.
But I think that'll come back with the AI thing. We're going to go through that cycle again. So there will be a period of time where
the challenge
the
that you're
fake
gonna,
shit's just not going to fly anymore.
the challenge I think you're gonna find is it's just like the era of drum sampling and axe effects.
Yep.
It went from needing to be able to find a good studio that anybody could write a banger that sounded great.
Yep.
And then AI, I feel like, is going to convolute the market even worse.
Well, you look
Because you don't even need to know how to program. You can just say, hey, make this.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have it. Now, yes, it's going to like whittle out some, but you're going to it's going to be harder to find the gems.
well, like, have you
On streaming and listening to music, yes, but seeing it live.
live?
Right, but how do you know which ones to go see live? Because
You won't. You'll just have to go do it. You'll have to go out and see live music and discover bands, and then it'll be word of mouth again.
and that's where bands are gonna,
Theoretically.
I think that's where bands are going to have to start getting almost like, I don't even know how you go about it, but in the video gaming world, the biggest way now is offer your game for free and then make money off of microtransactions.
Yeah.
Yep.
How do you get in that in a music venue world? Because that's cool. I really want to go see the show.
merch.
But if it's $25 and I don't know what I'm getting myself into, that's like $25 can be a lot of money for some people. So how do you get more foot traffic in a venue if a venue's pushing those prices?
Maybe they could take
Your
that
barrier of entry.
$25 out of the budget that they used to spend on buying actual music from people.
Well, so true.
Well, the idea would be
I'm just being facetious, but like,
no, but yeah,
think
I mean,
about how much money we used to shell out to buy albums. We don't shell that money out anymore.
No, I know, but everybody.
the music's free.
Because the music's free, or $10 a month for your streaming service.
Yeah. So now that microtransaction is buying the merch.
Yeah, but I think what you'd end up having to get yourself into then is start to work to, if you're charging $25 a head and then you sell 2 pieces of merch, okay. But what if you charged $5 a head, and then you had 100 people and 20 bought merch? You've actually came out. You're
Sure.
much more ahead, even at the door price.
As long as you're profiting on that merch,
right?
Yeah.
And somebody's going to have to take kind of that leap of faith and like prove it out and just believe in your product of what you're doing. Because of course you're going to have to. It's just like any bands that you start.
It's just like any
ramping up.
business at that point.
It's
You're
like
gonna
it's
invest
it's that upfront investment.
Yep.
But if you believe in it enough, But that's the way I'd look at it, as opposed to let's just charge more for tickets. That's like the interesting one I always remember is
until you got crew to pay. Until you got crew. If I got to pay a sound guy and a light guy and a roadie and fucking. There's other people involved, and especially at the pro level, these people get unionized real fucking fast. Mm-hmm. So there is no cheap labor. There is no calling in a guy who will do it for X. No, this is a union job. You can't just bring some random asshole. He's got to be a union member because then he has insurance, right? Like it becomes a real fucking business, and it's a real industry real fucking fast.
I know.
And it's a gray area between when you're an up-and-coming regional act, and now you're a real national band. Mm-hmm. And the cost difference between making that jump is kind of insane. And so those $25 tickets may seem unreasonable, but a lot of times those $25 tickets for a small band are breaking even costs. They really are, most times, because you'll lose enough at enough shows to where even when you make $5,000 at the next show, you're losing $1,000 at the next 3, or the next 5, So
I think
the merch is the only thing that's truly profitable if you sell enough of it.
For sure. I guess my mindset has always been I think out of all those years ever playing, I think the Revelance Farewell show is the only time I ever got any money at all.
Like in your pocket.
Part of that is because we were done, so we didn't put it in the band account anymore.
Right.
No, I know, but still at that point.
Because we always just put everything right back in the band account and then use that to fund T-shirts.
Right,
and
so you don't have
flyers
to self-fund everything.
So
right?
we never had to put other than practice space rent. We never had to put any of our own money into anything.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is
Towards
even back then, it was still they were like $10 for a show to get in.
But
that's what I'm just saying.
$10 in 2008, 2006, 2004, when you guys were hitting that level, $10 back then is $25 now.
No, for sure. But I'm just saying is you say breaking even, but if you account for everything, it wasn't paying for any of my drums. It wasn't paying for the space.
Right, I'm talking that night. Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying is that's where I try. You got to look at it as that long run and what's the goal.
Right.
That's
so
what
even
I just
if
say
we're breaking even on 5 shows, we're still losing money because of gear, strings, drumsticks, drum heads, cymbals.
And that was definitely
that.
something that we always looked at it as like we pay that on our own because we all have different costs and whatnot, right?
Oh, for sure.
And that was always the mindset, with Revelance and with DE. It was all the money we make just goes back into the band account because we didn't want to be in a position where, all right, we want to order new shirts. Oh, we can't because Bill and Dave don't have any money, so now the rest of us got to pony up more, right? So,
And what I'm really referring to is not even the local band struggle. It's when you jump to that national band level, right? Where, like you kind of said, okay, we're breaking even, we're doing these things, blah, 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 blah. But when you get to that next level, and in order to become a bigger band, you need to bring on more people. Well, they all deserve commissions, right? So you got 10% going to this fucking booking agency. You got a few percent going to the tour manager. You got percentages going to these guys, right? So everybody gets a cut.
Oh, for sure.
Every dollar, it's it ends up being on average, it's every dollar on a ticket sale, and it doesn't matter if you're independent or not, once you reach a certain level, that percentage that actually goes to the band gets so small Like we could be talking about 15 cents for every dollar at the door that actually goes to the bands, plural, right? Like it can get that big real fucking fast. So when we talk about $10 or $25 for a local band, that's not even what I'm really talking about. I'm talking about that next level, that $35 ticket, that $45, that $75 ticket, that $100 ticket. I'm not saying it's fair and it's legit. What I'm saying is we are giving the metaphor away for free. We are giving the music away for free because we don't make shit on streaming. We used to be able to make money on album sales, and that's how we would pay some of these people's salaries. Now we can't. Like, their salaries to do this show are paid by those ticket sales. And then the only way the band gets paid is off the merch sales.
Yep. Traveling T-shirt salesman.
Like, that's kind of what it becomes, dude.
That's what they all say it now.
That's
they're
kind of
like,
what it
they're
becomes.
like, I'm a traveling T-shirt salesman, and then a venue takes 25% of your T-shirt.
Oh my god,
your merch, and then you're fucked. It's
and
really,
you look like a rock star, but you're basically making $1,500 a week, which isn't bad money. Don't get me wrong, but when you look at it in whereas you're like, dude, I could go do IT and make 140 grand.
Yeah,
I'm making $1,500 a week. It's not bad money. Don't get me wrong, but we're also not balling out of control.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
And that's if you're making $1,500 a week as a band member, you're fucking killing it. Until you're Metallica, until you're Sabrina Carpenter, until you're like, what would you guys say? 98% of bands aren't making $1,500 a week per person in the band.
Oh, for
At
sure,
least.
dude. I mean,
99.5. Put a number.
dude,
on
that
it.
was the behind the
Take a
curtain.
guess.
That
Take a
was
guess.
Scale of like when you say band though, are you like talking even just small local or
any
like
band,
actual
any band in existence, including cover bands. How many bands, percentage-wise, how many are making more than or equal to $1,500 a week per band member?
If you're counting all bands, I'd say
2%.
I'd say 0.4%.
Yeah. I don't think this is my point. I don't think people realize that. I don't think people realize that no matter how much that ticket price is, including to Metallica, it's $400 to go see them. Oh, they're greedy. No, I don't think you realize.
Yeah.
What that band is actually probably splitting per ticket is like $50 per band member. They have 4 band members, right? So that's like $12.50 maybe per ticket sold that Metallica puts in their pockets as band members. The rest of it is overhead. So your 400 ticket is going to all that other shit. And I don't think people get that.
And not to mention that then there's a lot of that cost doesn't even go to anything involving the band either. There's the shit that has to do with like Live Nation and with the venue.
That's what I meant.
And all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
so when you're paying $400 for a ticket.
So not even the crew, right? Like it's just like so much of it is taken off the top before even the business of Metallica sees a dime, and then it dilutes all the way
and
down.
To add one more thing to muddy the waters even further, when they come play U.S. Bank Stadium, guess what? They have to rent that venue.
Yeah.
U.S. Bank doesn't give them the venue.
The challenge that
they require, just like when we go do the Rock back in the day, and it was $250 to pay for the sound guy and the door guy. Remember, that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was so you get the door minus the door guy and the sound guy, which was about $250-$350 back in the day. Now do that for U.S. Bank Stadium. So all the door guys, all the security, all the overhead that U.S. Bank has to cover when they open their doors.
And renting out the actual venue just in general, not even the people.
The obscene part that I found when I was looking, though, is I remember the last time Metallica came through, I was just curious.
Yeah.
And the Live Nation shit is bullshit, by the way, for one, because I'll explain that.
I don't think anybody of us are defending that. But
for 2 days, both days, in the pit pass was just shy of $6,000.
It's insane.
That's fucking gnarly. And then on top of it, the Ticketmaster Live Nation shit, the tax on those tickets was $800 because they scale percentage based.
Right.
So I think Metallica did it right in more of a sense, is they've been front loading a lot of this. Because I don't know if you had heard, did you ever hear about that Tomorrowland concert?
No.
It was like an EDM fest, had this big rig set up.
Jason looked
completely burned down. and Metallica let them use their set that was like stored, I think, in like Brazil or something. So Metallica has stages all over the world just stored for that. So they front load.
Smart, so they don't have to rent and travel.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it was like a whole big thing. It's like Metallica saved this concert thing because they just let them borrow it.
Wow.
So search
it was
that.
like this massive stage that burned down.
Metallica saves Tomorrowland or Metallica saves Music Festival or something like that. We're gonna wrap this up in a few minutes, anyways.
Cool. Ended on a high note. Yeah, it was fascinating because I remember seeing the videos on Reddit of like the stage burning down, and I thought it was more of maybe like a play or something like that.
Yeah.
I never put it together of that it was like a festival.
Wow.
What? So you're saying what actually burned down was whatever, but
And then they let them borrow
Metallica let them use
their
stage.
like part of the
because
stage
they
or
happen
whatever
to
that they
have
had.
one in the area.
Yeah, see.
So, yes, Metallica did play a role in saving the 2025 Tomorrowland Festival after a fire destroyed the main stage. The band loaned parts of their stage setup, which was in storage in Austria, to Tomorrowland, the festival, allowing it to proceed as scheduled.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool as fuck. So they have stages that they own stashed.
They're fucking like, I can't
Talk
say it.
about a machine. When they go,
Their organization is so well tuned, dude.
when they go, it's not going to be good for the world music industry.
No, dude.
Remember how I always talk about this? How you guys broke up, Banehinge broke up, Ginger Jake broke up, Blackfoot Diesel broke up for the first of 7,000 times. Every Stasia broke up. Every legitimate headlining band in town broke up within a calendar year of when the first one broke up. Fast forward 365, all of them broke up. Mm-hmm. And it devastated our scene because at the same time, Joe Spanbauer retired, Bill Berry retired, and Shannon Brettel retired, all within a calendar year. Mm-hmm. And that catalyst destroyed the Minneapolis music scene because there was no more gatekeepers, there was no more organization, and bands like Solace and Ashes got thrusted into fucking headlining positions that we barely drew 200 people, and suddenly we're the headlining band. That's now the standard. If you draw 200 to 300 people now, you're the shit.
Dude, that's a huge local
You're
show
the
now.
shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're
it's
the
still
shit.
a lot of people.
I mean,
But
it
back
is,
then it wasn't.
but compared to back then, it was like
Back then it was, you drew 200 people, you can play second.
yeah.
Remember this?
It was a
Joe
different
Spanbauer's
time
minimum
for
requirement
sure.
to open for a show. If you wanted to open a Joe Spanbauer show, minimum requirement 50 people.
Yep.
50 people. If you don't draw 50 people, you can't open my show. That was Joe Spanbauer. If I put a request out there to open, I need an opening band, 20 to 30 people. That's what two bands will respond. And they're probably not actually going to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
They're probably going to do 15, but I'm still happy with 15. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Right.
how much shit has changed. And that is 100% because everybody disappeared at the same time. When Metallica does that, I'm telling you, it's like Ozzy dying, dude. It's going to be an infrastructure. It's going to be a system of people that also retire behind them. And it's not going to be good because there's no one to fill that void.
Their organization is like the GDP of like some countries.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
dude, it really is, man.
It's fucking wild, man.
Jeremy, you got some music to plug. You released something recently.
Oh yeah, basically, if you're interested, you just look up Jeremy Blake Music wherever you stream music. It's very important that you put Jeremy Blake Music and not Jeremy Blake, because some other person has the audacity of having the same name as me and releasing music. So,
And if you're feeling really ballsy, you can go to Jeremy Blake OnlyFans.
Jeremy Blake Music OnlyFans. Because that same guy is also doing an
Only
OnlyFans, and he
music
got that first
fans.
as well.
it's just me farting on a snare drum, but
Coincidentally, you make $100,000 a month, so I wouldn't scoff at it.
I ain't farting on no snare drum.
Yeah, except you're absolutely farting on that snare drum, killing it.
You know how many people are probably gonna be like, I didn't know Jeremy had an OnlyFans. Like,
The other half of the people are going, I knew he had an OnlyFans this entire time.
and it's all dudes. who are
And it
saying
makes
that.
perfect sense. You'd crush it on OnlyFans. You should definitely do it.
I would not
My
sell
wife
my
wants
soul
me
that
to
way.
make an OnlyFans with a mask so no one can know it's me, just jacking it in front of the camera. She's like, I'm telling you, we'll sell subs.
Enough people have seen your dick
Just-
around here that they're gonna know.
Jacking it.
They're gonna know that that's Jared's dick.
She knows it's gonna be all dudes. It's all. She just wants that bag.
If you're a dude on OnlyFans, it's only dudes watching you.
You could name it.
And a couple 65-year-old women.
Yeah, while they're listening to Montoya Machine.
I broke the barrier.
Your channel could be Ringing the Dinger.
Oh, you want to ring your ding? Oh, I ring your dingy. I ring it a long time. I couldn't imagine a better spot to wrap this up, guys. Montoya Machine. I'm playing drums for Montoya. We are headlining Dayblock Brewery September 12th. You can get pre-sale tickets for only $10 in the comments. We just got done talking about $25 tickets. We're not doing that. They're $10. If you buy them pre-sale, $15 at the door. It's 21 plus. We're playing with Casinatra, Destroy the Planet, and a band from Mankato called Madam Driver. If you guys remember Discord, if you guys remember that band, So that's Jeff Zimmy. That's his new band. It's called Madam Driver. I think it's a great band name, like Adam Driver, but Madam Driver. I love it.
Nice.
I think it's fantastic. So go grab your pre-sales. We're probably going to sell this motherfucker out because we're dope as fuck. We'll see you guys in September. Please come out. I'd love to see you there. Jason, get us out of here.
Remember, it's just jokes, people.
This was a blast, you guys. This was super fun.